Greetings, dear ones. I hope I'm clear. Okay. Give me a moment, I'll just share this to my profile. Much greetings to all of you. So I just want to share this to my profile. Just give me a moment, please. Nice to see you all. Greetings from the bottom of my heart. Just allow me a moment to just share this to my profile, and I'm done. Yes, I'm done. So nice to see you all after a long time. Very much waiting for a session. Thank you, Hariji. Nice to see you here. Okay. I was traveling a lot in these few days, so I couldn't actually catch up with the live and all that. Am I clear? I hope I'm clear. So yes, this time I was just sitting with a book or something, and today morning, and then this thought came to me about. I was just reflecting. Even last night, I was just reflecting on my life journey and the kind of people that I meet on my journey and all that. Thank you. I'm clear. Okay. Atulji, welcome. Happy Ram Navami to all of you. I hope we all know the real meaning of Ram Navami. I made a small video on what is the real meaning of Ram Navami. It's a good video to have deep insights with the Advait Tattva. So if we relate to Lord Rama in that sense, I guess it will be much more clearer. The journey will be much more clearer. Lord Rama represents our consciousness. So it's very deep, so I would want to go into that now. So welcome to all of you, Anilji, Madhuji, Hariji, Apurvaji, Priyaji, Aishwaryaji, Prabjotji, Apurvaji. So yeah, I was just contemplating on my journey that I had, and last night I was just looking into the kind of material that I have brought from various places, and I was looking into it, and there was a overwhelming feeling of gratitude to all the people that I have met in these years on this beautiful journey. It's been extensive journey. I've been extensively traveling, and there is no clue as to why and how, because there is no logic as to why and how. When he asks, why are you traveling so much and what are you looking for, and something I am wondering, and some of them feel I'm just freaking out. Like it's everything minus the wandering. There is no wandering, because I'm very much settled in my deep inner core with what I want. My path is very clear to me, and what I want, what I am desiring, and what I wish to do in this life, I am doing all those things. So it's very crystal clear to me. My life is very clear to me. I have already have my master who has blessed me so much, and so much of gratitude, overwhelming gratitude to my master, Avdut Shivanandji, and the blessed opportunity to having being in his vicinity, and having a direct experience of how is it to be with a living master and Avdut. So it has always been very clear. The journey has been very clear. But yes, I've been always drawn to a lot of other activities. I've been very much drawn to a very broad spectrum, which is very difficult to explain, because how much ever I try to explain it gets more confusing, because I know when people listen to it with logic, it's very difficult to understand what I'm trying to tell. But if somebody is connecting very much in a very state of higher awareness and listening to what I'm trying to say, it will be very clear. It will be crystal clear. There will be no doubts or confusion. Like I have no doubts and confusion in what I speak. And whatever I have spoken all these uh, all the videos, I'm crystal clear about it, and you can see the conviction also comes in the spontaneity that flows. So we all must be that. We all must have this clarity. So it's nothing to get so much confused about, because I feel responsible on this journey. In this journey, I feel very responsible in my path, and whatever I do, it's a kind of responsibility. So I make it double sure that I do not distract anybody, I do not confuse anybody in any way. I try to do the maximum to keep everybody elevated and make things very clear on the path. That's my purpose. That's my sole agenda, and I do that without trying to cause any kind of doubts or confusion. But yes, there can be doubts and confusion if, as I told you, if one connects with not that state of awareness what I'm trying to convey, then it might be confusing. So even this video that I'm making is again on the same topic of how when our karma thins, we come across more and more people and places and all the circumstances that are necessary to release the balance karma. You can say the balance karma that is remaining with us. It all gets diluted in that. The journey, the purpose of the journey itself, the spirituality itself is to clear out all the karmic debts, all the karmic ties, and why we are here, why we are moving around again and again, coming back again and again in this lifetime and multiple lifetimes, why we have been coming all these lives, all the past lives. If you calculate, culminate it, you will understand it's just because of one simple thing why we are loitering around in this place. It is because life will not let us go until we clear that pending issue, that karmic tie, the give and take that is there, which we call it as karmic debt. Until the debt is clear, we cannot. And debt does not just mean to our family, Mostly the idea comes to our mind, clearing karmic debt means, oh, I have to clear my karmic debt with my family that I am born into. Yes, that is the major karmic tie that we have, the karmic debt that we have is the family that we are born into. But apart from that, we also belong to the whole world. We belong to this whole big, vast community called the planet, the earth, and the Bhuloka. And we are somewhere or the other connected to everybody. And you might not realize it, but see how we take birth. We take birth into where we have the strongest karma to fulfill. And life pulls in and settles you into such kind of a family where you have the most deepest karma with, heaviest of karma. Why does it condense into a family? Because nature, the universe wants us to complete it very quickly. So somebody whom you have very strong karma with will not be miles away from you. So that you are born, then you take years to meet and then clear that karmic debt. It won't happen. So whoever has stronger karma will be in your soul group. That is your family, immediate family, because we chose before the birth that we are going to clear these karmic debts by being born as so and so, and by playing these roles we will clear off our karma. Because once that karma is over, that's a major karma, then that doesn't mean that's the only karma. There are links with others, because in all the lifetimes, if you see very closely, there are petty incidents that happen in our life. Even in this lifetime, if you take, yes, you do live with your family, that's your soul karma. But also when you move through life, you will see that you bump across so many people, and so many incidents happen in your life while you are going out. Even on the road, if you are traveling something, you meet up, you might accidentally come across somebody, or you might bump into somebody which is not related to you, and you might end up creating a new story there. Like your vehicle breaks down, and then somebody comes and somebody helps you, and you immediately relate, and you create a bond with that person. There is a give and take immediately that's happening there. Either it is a pending give and take that is happening to clear off that. You have to give something or take something from that person. That person has arrived there on the spot, and that is happening. Or you are ending up creating a new. So every moment, if you calculate and see in life, Not just the family issues, anything. If you go occupationally, you go to your office, there are so many people you vibe with, and so many people you bump into, and so many people you create so many issues and karmas. So either it is a living, it is an unwinding of a previous lifetime karma which you come across new people, or it is the creation of a new karma as you are coincidentally going and you are creating. That is why this video I am making. That's the importance of staying neutral. The very importance of staying completely neutral as you move ahead on this journey, as you keep on evolving and the evolution is happening. You will see that you will be drawn to places and people, and people will be drawn towards you. Circumstances will be drawn towards you. New things which you cannot expect. I'm talking from my life experience. How these has hastened, how these has fastened so much. I can see so much things happening at a very rapid rate, very rapid rate. In this past, especially past 2 years, the kind of travel that I have done and the kind of intensive meeting with new people, bumping into new people and new experiences that I'm having. And most of the time I cannot call it new experience, because when I'm having an experience with somebody, most of the time I have a connection to a previous incident of, or a previous reliving of a previous incident of some lifetime. I can see familiarity in that person, familiarity in the place. Many places where I go to, I never feel it's a new place. I've been here, like a deja vu kind of experience. And there is so much of connection to that place, which is an indication that it's unwinding something from the past. This is what I say. Even places you have karmic debt. Even places. The kind of travel that I have been doing all these years, I can see a pattern of unwinding of some other lifetime karmic debts at that place with the people that I bump across in that place. I have seen strange incidents happening, strange things happening. So I come to a conclusion after all these kind of travels and meet, and it's never ending. I mean, it's never ending. It keeps on happening. Even in all my recent travels, in just day before yesterday I traveled, and last week I traveled, there were so many new incidents, and so much kind of mysterious incidents, and so much kind of synchronicity in all that. So from that I can come to a conclusion that these are very mystical happenings that are a kind of repetition from our previous lifetime pattern, or it is an unwinding of a certain karma with that particular person or a place. So the kind of pull that I have had in this past years towards places, like for example, I always mention that I don't plan, I don't sit and plan, let me go there, let me go here, nothing. It just happens, it just spontaneously happens. And now I have come to a conclusion that I shouldn't control this. I don't want to put my head into that. Whatever is happening, let it happen. Let it unwind in whichever way, even with people and places. So I go where there is an intuitive pull, or there is a sudden happening, a sudden coincidence, so-called coincidence. Sometimes tickets just get booked, or with some people it just happens very spontaneously. And sometimes tickets automatically get cancelled at particular places. Like I am going to one place and I have taken a ticket, let me go there. I have seen that overnight tickets to that place get cancelled and new tickets or new connections happen. So that means it's a detour, which I always mention there. Life doesn't reject you, or life doesn't put an obstacle to you. They are just simply redirection based on your current blueprint. We are all traveling in this life with a blueprint of our past. A blueprint is the karmic print that we have. Blueprint means the pattern is all ready, it is all set according to my current existence of karma, the kind of sanchit karma and the kind of prarabdha karma I have. There is a pattern, a road map that is already created by something called destiny. It is already created. So if I don't do anything, if I don't take control of destiny, if I don't do anything, I am bound to go by that pattern, which is governed by the karmic patterns of my past. The prarabdha and the sanchita governs that blueprint. This is how we take birth also. Before taking birth, we already have a blueprint, very crystal clear blueprint. If you have done these karmas with these people and these places, to unwind it, you have to take birth here and you have to go to these places, meet these people and unwind it and neutralize it. So the blueprint is already set. This is something that we call destiny or fate. And we are born with a destiny. That is why we are born with the stars. We are born with a certain kind of astrology. We are born with a certain kind of prediction, which is very clear. Even Agasthyar Nadi talks about it. The prediction is very clear, crystal clear. The blueprint pattern is already there. Now, when we start moving in life, and then we have two options. We have something called a free will, where you can just, without a free will, if you just move, that is called utmost surrender, complete surrender. There is no doership, there is no doing. Completely you are moving according to your blueprint. Means you will go across that blueprint which is set. But there is also a way to accelerate the travel, the blueprint, the journey. How do you accelerate that? By taking destiny in your own hand, and then you start creating your destiny. Then that is when you become the master of your destiny. You decide that I got to accelerate my journey by doing certain kind of actions, certain kind of deeds, certain kind of thought patterns. Why? Because when you do something that is more energetic and that brings you more good merits, punya, you do anything of that sort, then what happens is the karmic patterns start changing now. If you don't do anything, it will just run exactly as your karmic pattern. But if you take karma in your hands and you try to negate, or you try to move ahead with a certain pattern, with certain doing or certain undoing, you want to undo by doing certain acts, then you start neutralizing those karmas faster, and suddenly your blueprint changes, everything changes. The tracks change, the routes change, everything changes, the pattern, the grids, it all changes. Which means to say that this is what Agasthyar Nadi says. Agasthyar Nadi talks about these blueprints only. You go at a certain point and do your Agasthyar Nadi, you will see that they will talk to you about your past, present, future. They will talk to you about your present, why you came to the present, by connecting you the dots to your past. You did these, that is why you are in this present condition. That will be shown to you in Agasthyar Nadi. And if you are in such kind of a situation right now and you don't do anything about it, then this is your future, they predicted. Even till the date of death, it is predicted. Agasthyar Nadi. I've experimented this. I've gone to Vaidishwaran Koil just to experiment this many years back, and I've seen it works beautifully. My Gurudev, my master, used to tell, you can experiment with Agasthyar Nadi, and he said that also is a beautiful Shastra, it's a beautiful science, but then it is not valid very accurately for those who are practitioners, who do sadhana. Why? Because the moment you do sadhana, you are burning a lot of karmas. The moment you burn karmas, or the moment you generate more punyas, suddenly your blueprint changes, the patterns changes. So the Agasthyar Nadi Shastra will change every day for the people who are practitioners. For the people who don't do any practice, who are just living in the mundane life, and they like to perhaps just read the stars, or just go according to the star readings or astrology or kundali and all that, and they do not wish to do anything of their own, take destiny in their hand, then yes, all these shastras, whatever is laid out, the blueprint will be crystal clear to them. The predictions are accurate. But I do certainly believe that it's not going to be still very accurate, because every moment a person is creating so many karmas. Agasthyar Nadi is based completely on your sanchit karma, that is your past karmic patterns. But we are also dominated by our prarabdha, the current karma that is unwinding already, and the kriyaman karma. The kriyaman karma is which is unfolding right now, which we are creating, the new fresh karmas. So that also adds up to the whole blueprint. So If you ask me, it is not even every day, it is every single second the blueprint is keeps on changing. The grids are changing depending on what you are doing. If you are going just by not doing anything, yes, it might change, but very little. So the accuracy level might differ a little bit here and there due to our current karmas, our current actions that we are doing. But if you are doing rigorous sadhana or rigorous patterns of work on yourself, self-transformation, then there is a rigorous change in the blueprint. So that is why my master had said, you go and do the Agasthyar Nadi and then come back and don't do anything. 6 months you just be like that. Go back after 6 months and do it. You'll find the readings almost the same. But now you do Agasthyar Nadi readings and then you come back and you do 6 months of sadhana. And after 6 months of sadhana, then you go and do your reading again. It will drastically change. If you notice, even the hands, the palm lines change. They are not the same. It keeps changing. So what does this mean? This means that we can either co-create or we can go by whatever is created. Both works, whichever is chosen. How do we choose? Free will. Whatever is the free will to choose, it happens. As simple as that. So, what I have seen my journey is a part of both. It's a kind of surrender and thing that happens, and the kind of new creations also that I take and I do a particular sadhana. And both, I can see a combination of both. There are modes in my life where I have seen where it has just I've been just floating in that current presence of surrender. So I have seen that whenever I am afloat a certain kind of surrender, many things happen in my life. All these happenings are the unwinding of karma. How does the unwinding take place? It takes place because I suddenly bump into those places. Just 1 second, please. Cat is always a trouble. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was telling that if I have seen that whenever I am moving afloat in a certain pattern, I suddenly see a lot of things unwinding in my life, and I just observe. Most of my travels are in that afloat. There is nothing that, see, taking karma in your hand is actually sitting and planning. I need to do this, I need to go there, I need to meet this person. That is taking in your hands. But I have seen whenever I don't do that and just afloat, suddenly things happen and I keep bumping into a lot of things. Okay. But yes, certainly there is a very deep, high intention deep in the back of my mind. What is that intention? To move towards liberation. Anything that is toward the ultimate highest, that is always there in my intention. I believe it is that intention that pulls you and begins creating. So that is what I mean by mixture. Don't get confused. Mixture means somewhere the free will that I am using is that highest intention. Just I am not creating a blueprint. I am just having the ultimate goal in mind. Very strong. The ultimate goal of being that light, merging into that light, self-realization, whatever you call it, liberation, whatever you call it, that is there, holding that in my mind. I do not create day to day. I do not try to create the things like next month what I'll do, next year what I'll do. I am not that kind. I am that works, but I am weak in that. I am not very, I don't have affluence in that. All that I can do is hold a very strong and pure intention of the highest and then live life. And then suddenly I see that starts manifesting and starts creating my destiny in a certain way. That is when I have seen in this so many years, in all these years, 10 plus years, I've been traveling and traveling and traveling, especially the last 2 years that I've seen, unwinding and bumping into such mysterious places, mysterious people, and familiar people, new people, familiar people, so many people that I have bumped into. There has been a connection, sudden connection with somewhere. Like, for example, I'll give you. Some years back, while I was still working in the ashram, I had gone to Palampur for a month's retreat, for 1 month's retreat. So this was like kind of Ishan Bhaiya's plan to send me there for 1 month, and it's Himachal, beautiful place. So I was there, I was living there, I was enjoying there, and I was rejuvenating myself. All those things were happening, but strangely I saw in that whole month, close to, I said, I came across so many families which I never felt new. I mean, there were people, there were children that we were playing. I was playing the table tennis, and some children came running to me and they sat and we began conversing. There was a girl, I think 13, 14 years old. She came and she began conversing with me, just like, and very sensible, very intelligent topics, not just mundane things. She was talking very mature things. And I was very impressed. I was talking, and she didn't show an ounce of disfamiliarity. I mean, something that she's talking to a stranger. No, she was talking as though she knows me very well. She's a child and she was talking. Her mother found it very difficult to pull her apart from that, because every time I was there playing table tennis, she was there talking something and talking big things. So I was kind of, amazed by this girl's wisdom, and I began connecting. Then her mother came and she asked, "Who are you and from where you came?" My child doesn't talk to anybody and she's like an introvert, but she's talking so much to you. And it didn't make sense to me that time. These are all which I later understood, past life connections. How? In the same incident, when these children were there, and these children used to always pull me, "Come, let's play this, come play, let's play that." And play, they used to make me play literally. We used to be in the garden where everybody is doing some yoga, some kind of retreat, somebody is taking a oil massage, somebody is taking a steam bath, somebody is doing some rejuvenation, somebody is meditating, all those things. And here I was with these children, and they would make me a cameraman. You shoot this, and we are going to enact a play. And there were 3 kids, 2 boys and 1 girl, and they had all come from a friend's family. A big family had come together, and their children were there, and they were very comfortable playing that. And I used to be literally playing with them like kids, literal kids. And the parents were amused, and they used to simply laugh. What are these guys up to? Now, I didn't feel anything odd or awkward, nor the children felt awkward. There was something. And then, see, we were supposed to have gate passes. They will not allow us without gate pass, because whoever is the director of that place and all, because everybody is having some rejuvenation and all that sort, everybody is not allowed to go outside. No outside food is allowed, because everybody feels this is very bland food, and they shoot out to have biryani and all that. So that is banned. So that's the rules that they have there. So I was bound by it, and I couldn't move out. And then these families made a plan. Let's go to a certain place and we'll go and visit and come. I said, "I cannot come, please. I have come here for a certain purpose. I had come to meditate." And I said, "I'm doing all the things here except meditation, everything I'm doing here." And every morning we have a group meeting at the breakfast table. And then we have somebody who's wanting to have a discussion, and they spark up a discussion. And somebody wants healing, and somebody wants something. Somehow, we were all familiar. And I found myself either talking with groups for hours together, 3-4 hours together, or sometimes sitting and with others healing, doing some healing. And because people with a lot of traumas would come and sit there and talk and reveal, I thought, what the hell is happening here? I've come here for rejuvenation, or what is this happening? All weird, and no advertisement, no nothing. Nobody knows absolutely anything about me, anything what I don't know about others. Such kind of a place. The energies just brought us together. Something very familiar. And every evening we had antakshis, we used to play around and we sing around, dance, And there were ladies, there were gents of all ages, there were these children, there were youngsters. And believe it or not, I still have one of the best friendship with these people even now. This is something back in 2015 or 16 that I'm talking about. This happened. But that was very mystical. It opened my eyes to a lot of other things. By the time I came back, I knew this was not just a trip. It was meant to be something else. A major part incident in my life journey. It was supposed to happen. It was a major unwinding with major people and the places. That place, Himachal. And then these people said, we are going for a tour and all that car. We are taking 1 day break. We are morning to evening. We are going, come with us. I said, no, I cannot come. Y'all, please go ahead. I have got other things to do and all. They were insisting and I denied. Then the children came to me. The children said, please, we are going to go. Please, we are going to go. You got to be. I said, no, I cannot, my dear. You go, enjoy. We'll catch up later sometime. They were disappointed. The children were disappointed. And then I was in my space, and by evening tea, I came for the evening tea there, and the children's parents are saying, okay, you're coming with us. I said, no, I cannot. They said, do something. I said, I cannot because I don't have a gate pass. You guys have already taken permission, that's fine. But now it's evening. I knew that it's evening time, and the time when the director goes, and now nobody will force me to go and take permission there or a gate pass. So in the evening, I said, I don't have a gate pass. And then this girl child is coming, running towards me, and he says, Bhaiya, you are coming with us. I said, I cannot come. I don't have gate pass. Don't worry, we have got it for you, Shishan. I said, how the hell did you get that? The mother of that child was putting a hand on the head and saying, this girl went and talked to that director, He said, we want this guy to come, he's there with us and all that. Please do anything. He's telling that you won't allow, and he's got some work here, so please allow him kindly. He said, no, as per our schedule, he has got nothing tomorrow as per schedule, so he can join you, and he gave a gate pass. I said, what the hell is this? And then I ended up going. Those children literally took me there. And where did we go? Guess. We went to a nunnery, a monastery, a Buddhist monastery, which is run all by the females. Nunnery, it's called nunnery. And females, only females, males are not allowed. So these ladies went and talked to them and said, there's a stranger with us, and stranger in the sense of gender guy with us, and please, they took some permission, and the head of that monastery, Buddhist monastery, allowed us. And then we went into that place, and then when I walked into that place, that is a big monastery, big ashram, it looked all so familiar, as though it is very, very known to me, all these places. I was not understanding. And then there was another lady who was from somewhere from Gurgaon only, I guess, here. She looked around, and she is not a spiritual person. She is not a meditator, nothing. She saw that. She looked around and she came and said, Jacob, I got to tell you this. I have a strange feeling that I have been here before. I don't know this place, but I have been here before. The moment she said that, things opened in front of me. Because I had this intuition. And I knew it was a deja vu experience that I am undergoing, and here is another person. So I said, yes, surely we have been here before. I'm sure we have been here before. And she used to always talk about Buddhists, and she wants to be a Buddhist, and she wants to, as soon as she finishes all her responsibilities, bringing up children and everything she's done, she's going to go to a Buddhist monastery. She used to tell this in that place while we were in Palampur. That time we had not even visited a monastery. And then suddenly we find ourselves in this monastery, and she's saying, wow, I was always wondering where to come. Now I know where to come. In my older age. Look at this. It's a karmic debt. It's a pending karmic debt to that place that she owes. In some janma, it remained pending. See, it's time for her to unwind. It showed her that place, and now she's sure where she will be returning after she finishes her worldly responsibilities. And I had something, I don't know what. I do not have a crystal clear picture of what, but I know that there was something, because I was so strongly connected. And with these children, this same family, we have been together in that place. I don't know at what roles, but I'm very sure that energy and the familiarity that these children, these people showed, as though we have never been strangers. Who can explain this? This is what I mean to say, that whenever we go to any new place or any place that we are pulled to, not the places that we want to go and enjoy, maybe that also is to a certain extent. I can't say on that. It may be. But something which naturally pulls you and takes you to that place. And I'm telling you, you cannot avoid those places. You cannot avoid those people because they are in your blueprint. I've seen this. I've tried so much to avoid people, so much to avoid places, going to certain places, but I have been there. Like for example, this one, I didn't want to go there. I put my foot down. I'm not going to go there. And look here, somebody takes a gate pass and brings it for me. And we end up being there. This is what I mean by saying that as your karma thins, you will find yourself pulled to certain circumstances, to certain places, to events and people. And then it will all be so familiar, including the people that I have known here virtually. Don't you sometimes feel that, we know each other, even though we have not met? There's some familiarity, there's something that pulls us together. There's something that bonds us together. Something, knowing that I know this person. It happens with me also when I meet so many people, even virtually online. Not just one, I can share plenty of such incidents that have happened, which brought me to a very clear conclusion. This is what is happening. And so I should not control my travel plans. I should not try to control what is spontaneously and naturally happening to me. I've decided that, and that's why I get pulled, and that's why I don't deny where I'm supposed. I don't have a tug of war. I don't struggle with something that is coming very naturally to me. I allow it to happen, and I see when I am in tune with what I allow to happen, I am in the best of spirits. Yes, I must mention this. Whenever I allow the things to happen in my life without any resistance to it, I see that I am in 6th heaven or 9th heaven. I see those places, those people, those experiences bring me so much of joy and bliss. It kind of gives me a completion to something which I don't know, but it makes me feel complete. It gives meaning to my life. All these incidents and people and places, including saints. I've bumped into so many saints I have never ever thought or planned ever in my life that I should go. But in the past 3-4 years, the kind of bumping, I mean no plan, just bumping, being in the vicinity or getting into divine people, saints and seers and avduts and mystics. And how it's supposed to happen. If it is supposed to happen, who am I to stop it? So I cannot explain to anybody at home why I travel so much. I cannot explain to anybody who's saying he's wandering or he's in search of something. I am in search of nothing. I have everything that I want. But it is my life journey that is unwinding, and these are, I believe, what I signed up for. I signed up for these experiences. I signed up to live those moments. We all do that. We all sign up. Whatever we are enjoying, whatever we are not enjoying, we have all signed up for it. Why? Due to our backlog of karma. So until you meet certain people, until you go to certain places, until you have certain experiences, you are not truly unwinding it. And it's bound to happen. That's what life is all about. You can see every moment, every day, life is unwinding in some or the other way. See, the whole gang in Palampur, I can see some of them are connected to my videos and they are learning meditation, they are learning awareness and beautiful things, because they are from no path. They had no paths. But some have one lady who joined there, and she was little elderly to me. Strange connection with her. I used to be in her. She was almost like my mother. So I used to always be in her vicinity, and she used to love my vicinity, and we used to talk so much. She had so much of doubt she was clearing. Then I saw that even to drop her, I went to the bus stand. I had to take a bus to go ahead and drop her. She's from Dalhousie. So it's a very precious, strong bonding that I had with her. And that person in Dalhousie, she called actually yesterday after a long time, and she got connected to my master, because there was some incidents that happened while I was in Palampur. There was a guy with multiple sclerosis there, and while I was talking about my master, and my master at that time was doing Science Beyond Science in somewhere in the US, and I was talking about those projects, and it was a long session that we were talking. We were just casually talking, but by the end of the session, like 2 hours, I was sitting and talking. I was the only person, like what I'm doing now, just talking, and there were around 25 people around me, and they were all listening very carefully to the Science Beyond Science. So I was talking what my master does, and not exactly taking, but his projects, what it is all about, what is the science behind this healing, and how these things happen, what is energies, and how it works on our body, mind and spirit. I was talking on that, and this person who was having around 15-16 doctors treating him for multiple MS was deteriorating. His condition was deteriorating, and he was desperately searching for some solution. But that day something happened, and next morning he went for a walk, and every time he trips, they trip, the muscles are weak, they trip. But the first time he never tripped, and he came and said, "You have done something." I said, "I have not done anything." I said, "Yesterday I was listening to your talks, and this thing happened, that thing happened. And something happened in the morning, and I was able to walk." And that is the time I became aware of what did really happen. All that I knew was, while I was talking, I was very deeply connected with my master, because the topic was the whole thing. So then I knew who has done what. I have not done anything. I was just talking there. So that person again got connected. He wanted to know more. Then I said, this is where I come from, the lineage of masters that I come from and all that. And he was from Chandigarh. So he went and joined a forum in Chandigarh, and I don't know what he's doing, because I didn't have any connect after that. But that time he was desperate, and he went and joined. And this lady who was almost like my mother from Dalhousie, she became connected to me. She began listening to what I'm saying all the evenings. We used to take long strolls and all that, and she became very connected. And then she came to know that what I'm saying is nothing but from our masters. And then she also got connected. And yesterday she had called to just very happily tell me that, her daughter, who has no connection with her from very long, she was in Singapore, now she's shifted to Cincinnati, USA. So she had called to just inform me that her daughter somehow coincidentally bumped into a saint there in USA, and now she is attending the sessions there, and the saint is nobody other than my guru again. See the connections. So when she came to know, she said, "Oh no, I know a guy who has been with the master, and we had great experiences then. The guy I used to talk about, this thing happened, that thing happened, mysterious things and all that. He's the same guy." Then they got connected, and they linked. Oh my God, it's the same. So see, these are all what I'm trying to say. Some connections of the past, which has to happen, which we bump across each other. They are not distant. It was meant to be. I mean, that person was supposed to come to that path. It just needed some nudge from somebody, and that happened. That's what the blueprint does. So there is a purpose. I believe there is a purpose wherever we travel, we all go. You play an important role there. It's not just a travel. For me, I've always seen in all my travels, there is some connection to my life or somebody else's life. It's always there. I mentioned this before also in Karad. While I was coming from Karad after Shivir, we were in a train and we met a beautiful family and a Christian family. And she had a lot of issues and all that. And, we began speaking for hours together. And then the whole session ended up in a healing session. She was so desperate for the healing of her daughter who was somewhere else. And she said she doesn't believe in meditation, all the spirituality. She hates it. And she is not even a religious person. And I believe in Christ because she was a Christian. Christian Punjabi she was. And she was going towards Punjab. Her husband was a Hindu, but Sikh, and she was a Christian. And we ended up talking about a lot of things. And then she said, can I request something? I need this for my daughter. I said, you close your eyes and you visualize that for your daughter. Make that a prayer. Let us invoke Christ here. No problem. You don't believe in any Hindu or any other the kind of activity. No problem. You close your eyes and you invoke Christ. While I invoke my Guru and Guru Mandala. You do that. And she asked, when shall we do? I said, we'll do it early morning. So early morning at around 5:30, she came and woke me up. She said, you had told about the session. And everybody was sleeping. I said, yes, this is the right time. Then we sat on our berths and we began the process. And she said, all I'm concerned is about my child, my little girl. Very concerned about her. I said, you do this. And we did a process. It went on for half an hour. And when we ended the session, she thanked and she said she felt beautiful. It was around 40 minutes. She said she felt beautiful, and then she on her cell because it was switched off. I had asked her to switch it off. When she on it, she saw missed calls from her. The messages were coming, so many missed calls from her daughter. So she said, oh my God, she doesn't even talk to me and she has no time and there are so many missed calls now. I said, go ahead, speak to her. She called her and she was talking very nicely. Mother was saying she doesn't even talk nicely to me. She's in her own world all the time. She has no time for me. And here she's calling up and she's talking and she talked very nicely. And she said, Mama, what was it? Were you thinking of me or something? I was feeling very nice. And whatever some issues she had, she said she was feeling better from that, whatever ailment or what, I don't remember what it was. She's feeling better. Suddenly she is feeling better. What is it? Then this lady was overexcited. She said, oh my God, this works. And she's telling me this works. Here I did this and there she felt that. I said, yes, it does work. It has to work. She was changed. She wanted to know more. I gave her more information. We met. She has taken number. I have her number. We haven't called each other and all that. But the bond was very strong. By the end of our meet, we were somebody else. There was a man who was traveling along with us, old man, who was listening to all our talks. He was not able to eat the whole day because he had eaten something from the train and he was puking and acidity and all that. So whole day he was starving. So that evening while I was talking to the lady, I woke up that old man because he told his story. I'm not able to eat, I'm scared to eat anything now. But he was very hungry also. Then while I was talking to the lady, I asked the gentleman, the old man, will you have something from us? Yeah, I'm not going to have. He said, this is homemade, don't worry. He said, no way. I said, at least have fruits, this is good. I gave him the apple, cut the apple and he ate the apple because it was fruit. But he didn't know that it was the fruit that was kept on the stage of the Karad Shivir. The Shivir was over and the sadhaks there actually packed up some fruits and gave it to us. You have it on the way. And it was the fruit that was there for the entire 2-day Shivir there, right next to the master. And that was the fruit that this old man ate. And he had a nap in the late evening. He got up at around 9 o'clock at night. And then he went to sleep again. Next morning, we were doing this healing session and all that. And then this old man woke up and said, I'm feeling fantastic. Everything is gone. All my illnesses, everything is gone. What was that you gave me? I said, it was so-and-so from so-and-so place. And I said that, oh, I watch him on Asta. And he was overwhelmed. So what I'm trying to tell you is, my journey has always been very interesting with nothing that is unfamiliar. Everything looks very familiar, even the people. The latest trip that I had, forget everything. Just the last trip last week, I had gone to Tiruvannamalai. I was there for 3 days. I was in Bangalore for some work and some activity there, and I had a train from Bangalore to Tiruvannamalai. A couple of hours at night. Night 11 o'clock the train was, and morning 4 o'clock I was supposed to reach Tiruvannamalai. And this train is coming from Pune, very far. So when I alighted the train, my side berth was next to another lady, another girl who was coming from Pune, and she was also visiting Tiruvannamalai. Side berths, both, the side ones. The whole night passed and everything. Early morning, like 3 o'clock, I was awake. 2 o'clock or something, I was awake. And she came and asked me, is it Tiruvannamalai? I said, no. 4 o'clock it's going to come. She said, can you please wake me up? Because I don't know. I said, don't worry, go to sleep. So she went to sleep and I was in my own contemplative state. And by the time it was 3 o'clock or something, she woke up and sat. And then she began talking again about Tiruvannamalai. First time she has come, she wanted to come. And then we very casually began talking. Then I came to know that she is related to some other community. The Gurukul system that we have of Rishi Prabhakar. She is linked with that. And she is a full-time volunteer in that community. And she asked about Tiruvannamalai. This is my first visit. I said, nothing to worry about. Don't worry about rooms also. I am going to a certain place. If you need any room, I'll give you a number. You call up and you can have that place there, and nothing to worry about. This is the most safe place here. She said, I'm not worried because I've been traveling and all that, but this is the first time I'm coming here. And something has pulled me here from within. Something very strong has pulled me that I literally had to tell my husband that I am going. The husband said, you wait for some days, at least I'll take leave. She said, no doing. I am being pulled towards it. I don't know what. Then the husband said, you are going first time to South. How can I allow you there? She said, nothing doing. I have to go there. Something is calling me in Tiruvannamalai. And the husband made arrangement for her, and that's how she was in this train. So she was telling me this. I said, great. So we got up at the train station, and then she was with me in the auto. I took her till Ramana Ashram. And I said, you have plenty of rooms here. Because she wanted to be on her own and explore things and all. Which is almost the right way of doing whenever you go to these places. So I knew this is a person who is a little mature and evolved. It is not somebody who will talk and about all these things. So I knew that she is in that state of mind. Because I saw her the moment she saw the hill in the auto rickshaw, she became calm, silent. Then I was talking to her, but she couldn't relate to what I am talking. She was absorbed in that silence. I said, okay. I understood. Then I said, I shouldn't disturb this soul. Whatever this soul wants to do, let it do. So I didn't go to give it too much lecture about what you should be doing and how to help you and all that. I know that something is helping it. So in front of Ramana Ashram, I said, this is Ramana Ashram, and you can have it. And she went. And I went ahead to wherever my accommodation was, at Ashok Bhai's place. Then and she took my number. She said, in case I need any help from here, please let me connect to you. And I'll only disturb you for this. And nothing, I assure you. I said, no problem, you can. Because she was a female again, traveling for the first time there, I felt a little concerned. So the whole one day went without any hindrances. She was doing her own thing and I was in my own world. We didn't even know where we are. I didn't know where she was. So she went around in the ashram. I think she was in the Ramana, and then she went to the temple. She was in the Arunachaleshwara temple. She spent a lot of time there. Meanwhile, I was spending a lot of time in Ramana ashram. I didn't go anywhere on the first day. I usually don't. I spent more in Sheshadri Swamigal's place and Ramanashram just in utmost silence and meditation. So whole day had almost passed. Next day I was supposed to go to the hill. I believe she had already gone on the hill and explored the whole hill up there, Virobakshi caves and Skandashram and everything. First time she has gone, she explored everything. She came back, and at night, just before our dinner, I was in Ramanashram, and I got a call from her. Then she said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm in Ramanashram." She said, "I'm also in Ramanashram." "Where?" I said, "I'm near the gate." She said, "I'm also near the gate." I said, "We don't see each other." Then a little bit, and then we spotted each other. He said, "Oh wow, you're here. Come, let's have tea." Then we went to have some tea in my favorite hotel there in Oro, Usha Oro. And we had some coffee, and we were discussing. I was just asking how was the day, and she said it was beautiful. She told me all her mysterious experiences, how she was divinely guided to all these places, and how everything took her to that places and everything. And then by the evening, she just wanted some help from me. That is what she wanted was, she wanted to go to Rameshwaram. So she said, "I called you just for this particular help. If you can guide me how to go to Rameshwaram." Then I sat there and told her, "This is the way to go. Rameshwaram is far. It's very far from Tiruvannamalai. It's deep down near Kanyakumari, almost southern tip of India. But what you can do is, you can break your journey, go to Puducherry, Pondicherry, and there are certain places, and then from there you can move to Chidambaram, where there is a big temple of Lord Shiva, that is the Akash Tattva, and then you can move towards Rameshwaram." And I told her everything about Rameshwaram, what you need to do. She was very happy, but she was a little concerned because it's going to be again a break journey and 2-3 places. I said, "If you can do it, do it. Otherwise, you go directly to Rameshwaram, but there are very less trains." She decided, no, she has to go to Rameshwaram, and she has to go. So she was like, "I am going to book my tickets and I am going there." She didn't even ask me, "Where are you going and how many days?" I didn't bother to tell her. Next day, tomorrow night was my train back to Karnataka. Next night, 11 o'clock. So I didn't bother to tell her anyways. And she was anyhow going the next day, that side. Now, what happened was, next day again we did not meet. I went up the hill, I was in the caves, I was meditating there and all that. And by evening I came down and I met her. And I asked her, "Is there anything else that you would like to see here?" She said, "Mauna Swami, the Siddha who was sitting in silence, deep silence, who was Bhasma Odehue, complete, he is filled with sacred ash, smeared with, I have not met him, I want to meet him." And I was doing Girivalam. Yeah, she did the Girivalam. I was surprised because people don't do that. 4 to 5 hours by walk, the whole hill, Giri Pradakshina. She did it. And when she did it, I knew this is not really the first time. Maybe in this lifetime it's the first time, but she has been here before. If she is so divinely guided and so much accurately she is doing everything perfectly, she knows what she is doing. She is not aware of it in this lifetime, but she knows. She is an old soul. Again, the topic what I am talking is about the past lives, how life unfolds, how this past life unfoldment brought her there. Something pulled her. We went against the wishes of everything and she came there, ended up there, and she had that experience. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If the place pulls you, has to make you, it will happen, come what may. And she was in that surrender. But yes, she had one good point, was surrender. She believed in her surrender and she believed in the protection that she had. She knew that she was in a kavach because she was traveling alone. She had so much of confidence in that could be seen. I said, wow, this is how it should be for travelers, especially the girls. And then something mysterious happened. Next evening, we met again at Ramanashram. We were sitting right in front of Ramanashram, and she said, "I have some few questions to ask you, if you can." I said, "Yes, surely. This is the right place, in front of Ramanashram." And for almost 1.5 hours, she had a lot of queries about spirituality and all those things, and she was asking, and I was explaining to her. And then she received a message from somebody. In her practice, in their community, they are supposed to have these WhatsApp groups with the entire communities, and everybody, whatever they do, something mysterious, something new happening in their life, they are supposed to update. They are supposed to give, their experience, share their experience of what new they learned and all that. So probably what this girl did was, she wrote an experience with me that she met somebody on the journey, and this is what happened, and things unwinded in this way. She put it in her group. And from a group, she started getting messages. Oh, that guy is related to that guru. We have seen his blogs, and we have seen he's linked with that person, the master Abdul Shivanand, so and Shiv Yoga and all that. And they said it's good. If you're with that person, you will get more guidance and all. And she was like now very curious. She said, "Who are you? And what are these people talking about?" I said, "Don't bother about that. You want to meet somebody?" He said, "Yeah, Mauna Swami, I missed. Because I was taking pradakshina and walking, and somebody, I just passed. You had given his address, that's point, but I passed his point, and I went about 50 steps ahead, and then I remembered, oh, Mauna Swami is behind. So I was supposed to go. I asked one person there. He said, it's behind. But he said, no, don't go behind. Once you are on the pradakshina, don't go behind, you continue." And she said, listening to that person, she continued, and I missed it. So she asked, was that right? I said, if you believe that is right, it is right. If you believe that is wrong, it's wrong. You believed what somebody else believed. Somebody else, the Koi Puran said that if you do that, that's not right. So the rules of... I told her one thing. The divine has no rules. Your intention is all that matters. If your intention is pure, nothing else matters. You just do it. Don't bother about anything. Just do it, because he doesn't see all that. And she was like, oh my God, then why did I should have finished that? I was supposed to. I said, yeah, you were supposed to, but you didn't. And she said, now what should I do? And then she said, I have got another message. I am from home. They are telling me, no Rameshwaram this time. Please come back home immediately. We will all join you. Her husband also said, we will join you in the next trip. Some days I am taking off. We will go. It is very far. Don't go too far. You please return back home, and we are booking your tickets. So she said, that's a sad news. This happened. I said, nothing sad. What is meant to happen will happen. Go with the flow. Then she said, look at this. My husband has booked a ticket, but it's waiting list. Can you look at this? I looked at the ticket and said, okay, let me confirm. Because by the time her husband had booked last night, it was a lot of time and the chart could have been made. So I checked in my app and saw that her ticket is confirmed. I said, your ticket is confirmed. She was happy. Oh wow, I'm going back home. I said, when are you going back? She said, tonight. I said, tonight is my train also. I looked at her train. Can you guess? It was the same train. She was shocked. I was shocked. What is this? See, from where we ended up, where we were supposed to go, and what changed. That was not a cancellation. That was a redirection on what happened. And guess what? The journey was supposed to begin at 11 o'clock at night and end next evening at 5 o'clock. I was supposed to get down here, and she was supposed to continue to Pune. That is how and what happened is, we alighted the train, and from next morning, from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we were sitting together discussing deeply about higher spirituality. There was no other topic than higher spirituality, where we talked extensively about like Malal, Lal, and all those things and all that. And then we became very good friends. And by the end of the journey, I came to know that she has gone back there to her, and her children are all studying in Gurukul. Gurukul is you must be knowing, it's all based, the education is based on the old system of Gurukul by Rishi Prabhakarji. He was a great saint. He is no more in the body. He started that, and worldwide they have centers of Gurukul. So her children are there. And she was telling me the story that they were all in USA, very happy, settled in USA, but something was not making them satisfied. They didn't want this education system, this modern education system for their children, and they were only longing, gosh, they had some beautiful, very modest, very humble, and very much back to our culture and roots that could teach our children. And with that hope, she said, we left US and we came to India, and we came to Pune, and some things happened and all that, and suddenly we bumped into this Gurukul. Said, this is what we wanted. Our children are now going there, and children are grown up now. So she was telling me all these things about the beauty of that place and how she's connected. Now what I'm trying to tell you is, now she's of a different culture, she's of a different community. I belong to a certain different culture or tradition or community or whatever you call it. Because I come from a certain master, she comes from a certain master. But I'm telling you, what we talked was spirituality. It had no barriers of path, no barriers of masters, no barriers of this is ours and that is yours. This is what I'm trying to say. My journey has always been beautiful, and I'm bump into people of all culture, all different paths, all religions. Even Muslims I have had so many trips. I have communicated so deeply with Muslims who are followers of Islam, with Sufi followers. I met a guy in Turkey, in Tiruvannamalai, who is from Turkey, and he's been living there for so many years now in Tiruvannamalai. And he comes and he goes only to renew his visa, and he comes back here. Some connection, deep connection with Tiruvannamalai. And he met me, he wanted to meet me. He said to Kalidas Bhai, I want to meet him. And Kalidas Bhai brought him to my room and he said, this is the one to meet. I said, do I know you? He said, yeah, I know you. I'm from the videos. I see your videos, and that's how we are connected. And we ended up again talking deep spirituality. Now he belongs to some other community. He follows some other master, a Western master who is still in Tiruvannamalai. And their ideology is different. But when we talked spirituality, it was all the same. The bond of love, the bond of that concern and love, of that one family, the oneness. And he's a Sufi, he's a Muslim. He was a Muslim. A Sufi guy. So these are beautiful things. And knowing each other, familiarity. And I never felt this guy is some stranger or anything. Very much familiar. Anyways, coming back, to that I was talking, the whole day we were talking in the train, and the co-passengers were like literally fed up. By the evening they were asking, आप लोग क्या बात कर रहे हैं? सुबह 10 बजे से शुरू हो गए, कोई बंद नहीं कर रहा, इतना देर से इतना क्या बात करते हो आप? एक घूंट पानी तक नहीं पिया आप लोगों ने, और इतना how and what is keeping all going on? So we were both looking at each other and आप नहीं समझोगे. It's like that kind of a thing. And then I got down, and finally after a few days I heard from her, and she said that we want a guest lecture of yours in our place, in our community. It's something that is very bland, something that is not to do with anything but pure spirituality. I said, beautiful, let's have it, why not, whenever the time, either online or whatever. So I'm trying to tell you, these are all deep, meaningful connections that we have when we are on this path and when we are unwinding. And I was talking to her also about many things, because many things were becoming clear to her, and why these things happen and why we bump across people. She was asking, why did that face sound so familiar? Why did that place, what is this place in Tiruvannamalai? I feel so much longing like anything to come here. I said, this is all your past life that is unfolding, including our meeting. It's not the first meeting, because I never felt that this is a new person. She never felt it's a new person. The trust was so spontaneous. She says, I'm so wary when I'm traveling. But with you, it was very spontaneously, because that bonding is there, that karmic untying is there, unwinding is there, that keeps on happening. So this happened, and yes, she wanted to meet that Mohana Swami there at that time, and I said, nothing doing, let's take an auto, we are going there. I told Kalisas Bhai, let's get going, and we just took the auto and went and sat near Mohana Swami, the Siddha, who is in complete silence. So we meditated in his space, and then I told her, you should meet one more Avdut named Topiamma. She very much lives very closely, and she's wandering like a mystic, and she's in rags and you won't identify her. And for her, I had taken a video while we were crossing on the bike, which I shared in that video of Tiruvannamalai. In the end, Topiamma is walking. That video was taken for her, because I just wanted to tell this is the person. And when I showed the video, she said, I've met her just yesterday. And I was looking and staring at her. There's something mysterious about this person. She doesn't look like a beggar. She's an Avdut. So see all these coincidences, how it was all destined to happen, designed to happen. So all this happens in my trips. I've seen it happens, and it has only intensified every time I go on travel. Every time I go to places, meet new people, it's something not new, something old that we talk about. It's like as though we are continuing a conversation from somewhere. We don't begin with who are you, how are you, and where do you come from. Never. It begins somewhere from middle and it ends up somewhere. And somewhere in the end, we just introduce ourselves. This also happens. That means that whatever that karmic tie was there, that's waiting to unfold. And at a certain location. See, we are from different places, but I have met, even in Tirunamalai, I have mentioned this before in one video also. There are two incidences, because I have been there at least 20-25 times. But very old, very like 2010, 2011, when I had gone there. Twice this happened. We were about to climb the hill and we were buying some water bottles. And that time it was a different different group. And we just took our water bottles and one man came running towards me and he spoke in Tamil. He said, "Anna, how are you? Brother, how are you?" I looked at him. I was thinking, do I know this guy? And before me thinking, he was like, how has life treated you? I've been this way and this thing has happened with me and all that. What about you and all? He was like that. And my spontaneity from that time was, something came from within me. I said, I'm fine and everything. I've come here and I'm there for 2 days and all that. When I talked and all. And he said, oh, you're there for 2 days? Okay. I said, okay, then bye. And he said, okay, see you soon. And he went. My friends asked me, who's that guy? I said, I don't know. What? He said, you sounded like friends. I said, yes, maybe. Because that was my first or second journey. I didn't understand it that time. But then over a period of time, I became familiar. Who's this? Mysterious. And same incident happened. One after in another travel in Tirunamalai. We were having idlis. We finished our idlis and we were supposed to take a climb. One guy came in, an elderly man came and said, "How are you, son?" I said, "I'm fine." "Oh, when did you come?" And I told him, "Oh, you're there for so many days. Okay. And what are your plans today?" And all that, just casually, And I am also answering without asking, "Who are you?" And they say, okay, take care. And he went. My friend asked me, "Who is this?" I said, "This has happened before also, and now I don't want to question. Whoever it is, let me answer them the way they are coming." So this happens in peculiar places. Those places which you are connected to very strongly, and there are karmic bonds there are karmic ties with people there, and these people come across to finish that karma. So I was advised by a saint, whenever you visit to any holy place, any divine place, be very careful. He said that is where most of the karmic transactions takes place, where most of your past karmas unwind. So he said, be very careful, be very neutral, do not react to anything that happens in those places. He said, even by mistake, even if you're walking and if your feet touches somebody and that guy yells at you or gives a bad word, just pay respects, be neutral and move. Do not create anything more. Why? Because that is your karma that is coming back to you, and life is giving an opportunity. What was pending? That guy had to give you a bad word, and this foot touching that person is just an excuse. And it happened. And when it happened, that guy says that person is not in awareness, but you should be in awareness, he said. You should be aware of where you are, what's happening to you. It's something from your past. So just observe, don't react. So when you don't react, what has happened? That karma is finished. And if I react, it's a new karma. So I've been taught by these mystics, by the saints who guided and told me, whenever you go to any holy place, be very watchful of your thoughts, words and actions. And be very mindful of whom you meet. Because all those whom you meet there are destined to meet there. So this is not just in holy places, this happens everywhere. But in holy places, I am saying it is accelerated. And it's much more a divine karmic thing that has to happen there. Huge karmas. But otherwise, even if you don't go to holy places, even if you're traveling, even if you're meeting, going to some other place, or just walking on the road also in your own city, and you come across something new, some person, some experience, there also I would say be in awareness. Because it's all, especially people who are on the path, especially people who are doing sadhana, especially people who are moving on the path of awareness towards liberation, especially those who are having the intention of liberating, salvation, mukti, who are going towards that. Definitely, to go mukt, to make you liberated, to make you free, you have to unwind from all those which are bounded. If you don't do it now, you have to come again, another lifetime, to finish it. So if you are aware of how important and precious this lifetime is, to clear as much as possible, you will be in a state of awareness wherever you go and whatever you do. So these are live examples that I gave you in this video. Shreyasi Swami. Welcome Ishan Bhai. If we observe our anger or hurt, whenever it arises in the mind from the subconscious, will it release forever? I notice some repeated eruptions of anger or hurt in my mind in different situations. I become aware of my mind. Will I stop? Will it stop if I process of watching mind? Shreyasi Swami, very, very beautiful, interesting question this is. Many people have these questions and many people don't even have this, but this is an important question that you must have on the path of awareness. She asked that, is it just by observing my actions or reactions that is coming from my subconscious into my conscious mind, will it release forever? It will release if you are completely detached from it and re-experiencing it at the same time. For example, you are having some kind of a fear that's coming up. Something, you are in some place and suddenly fear comes up. And you don't know why you are getting scared. Now, if you go with awareness and be with that fear and not dodge it. Many people, what they do, if they have fear, they will pick up something. They will on the light, or they will put up TV, or they will call someone, or they will watch something and distract yourself from that thing which is coming for release. It is surfacing up, as she said, from the subconscious it is coming to the conscious mind. So if there is a fear or there is an anger or an irritation coming, it is a certain kind of release that is coming to the surface. But if you don't react to that irritation or that anger and go with it in that intensity, one way is that you have irritation and you get irritated, or you get angry, and when you get angry, you are a different person, you react in a certain way to an outside circumstances. When you do that, you end up creating a new karma. But at the same time, when this thing is coming up and you watch it, observe it, and at the same time experience it, like you are experiencing fear, experience what it feels like. What does it do to your body and mind? Experience that fear without pushing it. Normally what happens, we push it because we are very scared. Fear, what will happen? Push it. So we want to experience it. So when you experience it with observance means detached. You are just aware of that fear but experiencing. You are experiencing fear but are aware of it. If you don't become aware, you are reacting to it. You react, you become that fear, and then you get jittery, and you might do anything that comes after that fear is your new karma. Out of fear you might say something, you might do something. That is a reaction to that fear. Out of anger or irritation you might say something, you might do something. That is a new karma that you've created. But at the same time, if you are just observing, if you are in awareness, and that thing is happening, anger is coming, it's whirling around you, you can feel it, the breath is going high, up and down, sometimes even sweat is coming, you are angry, or even when you are in fear, you can feel the sweat coming and all. You are experiencing, but you are still not having any opinion, no judgment to this experience, no conclusion to this experience. You are just witnessing it in awareness. Then the release is happening. The release means Actually, what is release when we do deep inner shadow work, when we are doing deep meditation on a certain flaw of us, we bring it to the surface and we relive. It is called reliving that experience. Suppose you had a bad experience with somebody in your life. Somebody, let's say you are in a deep argument or quarrel or fight with somebody, and that has hurt you, left you hurt. Somebody hurt you very badly, and that fight was incomplete. That person went their way, you came your way. Now that hurt is traumatizing you, it's haunting you. Now it is deeply within you. You're trying to forgive, you cannot. But as you try to forgive and you are working on a healing and forgive, you will see that this reaction starts coming up. That experience which was not complete then is submerged inside. You know what's the science? The science is, whenever we have an experience, we don't completely experience it. Listen to this carefully. Like when we are quarreling or when we are fighting, we don't experience and we don't finish it completely. We always leave it incomplete. While the fight is happening, while the argument is, while there is anger, something is pending all the time. Somebody cuts it, or somebody breaks up the thing, or somebody says, okay, let's not talk about it, something. But we have not completely finished with that pattern or that feeling, that sensation, that emotion. And when that happens, when we give it an incompleteness, that incompleteness is what sinks inside. And when that emotion and that feeling goes inside, that karma goes inside, it is incomplete. Now what is that karma or that feeling or emotion trying to do? Is trying to find completeness. Whenever it is completed, it is released. Remember this. So that incomplete feeling, emotion, experience which is there within you, after certain years, when you become an aware person, when you are working on awareness, when you are doing a sadhana, when you are witnessing in Drishtabhav, and then you see this same experience coming up, and now you are feeling the same hurt that you had that time. Now usually what people do is, oh, I'm feeling hurt. I don't want to think about that. Why should I think about that negative incidents? Let me distract, let me have a smoke, let me have some tea, let me have a coke, let me have a pizza, let me have some food, let me go to the theater, watch a movie, let me call up a friend and talk for hours. These are all distraction patterns which we do not want to give completion. So the mind is cunning, the ego is cunning, it will try to dodge you. This is what I actually always talk in shifting into awareness. When you are in awareness, you are aware of these patterns. They can spring up any time of our life. So you should be aware. Only when you are aware, you will be even knowing this subject, what I am talking. This happens only in awareness. If you are not in awareness, this thing, it will come up, you will dodge it. You will hide it, you will act as though nothing has happened, or you will suppress it. And it goes back down. And it's unhealed. It remains unhealed. Or it might come very aggressively. And if you are not in awareness, if you are not conscious about it, you will react. You will end up creating more rather than solving and completing it. So, the science is anything that has gone, any experience that has gone incomplete into our being, into our psyche, needs to be pulled out. This is what they do in past life therapies, even in Pratiprasav, if you see closely, this is what is being done. It has to surface to be healed. It has to be healed. If you don't heal it, just seeing that incident and knowing that incident is not going to work. It has to be relived. Why relived? Because it was not lived in completion. It was incompletely put inside. So when that comes, you have to relive that experience and feel it. I've had this in many of my meditations when I used to do earlier. All the old hurts and all would come up, surface, and suddenly I used to be crying, or sometimes I used to be so angry I used to beat the pillows, punch, sometimes I have to hit my hand on the wall. Those are all the reactions that come from there. When you feel angry, what happens? Okay, you're feeling and you're living it, but in awareness. You have to be in awareness. You should be aware that this is happening, re-happening to you, so I have to relive it. So give it a completion. What you were not able to say then, say it now. Release it to that person. You felt like hitting that time, you pulled yourself, punch the pillow. See, you're reliving it and giving it a complete. When that is complete, it's gone. So Shresi Swami, you asked a very, very important question. This is what the Buddhists do. In Vipassana and all, if you see, they sit very deeply, just observing the things happening in their body. Even if you get an itch, you are not supposed to itch. That is what they tell you, no itching. And if you just observe it, there's an itch coming, it will feel like it's tearing your cheeks literally, and it's going to burn out, or it's so painful. Sometimes it turns into pain. But if you just observe it and relive that experience, give it a completion, you'll see that it will go to an extreme point and then suddenly it will start shrinking. And shrinking, and it will go. That is gone. Now what is that itch? That itch was a psychic impression that was lying submerged. It expressed itself in the physical body. It needed to manifest, it needed to experience itself, that thought, emotion, whatever that impression was. And that came in the form of itch. This is why you see when you are meditating, you have a lot of itch and twists and this, and we keep on. Those are all the psychic impressions that's trying to relive itself. So the more awareness you are, if you become more aware of what's happening in your body, what's happening in your mind, you'll be able not to react to it. You'll be able to just watch it. Watch it. And the most beautiful thing that my master thought was, when this surfaces and when you're seeing it, when you're reliving it, everything, blast it with high energy. Blast it with that healing energy. That is the time you see the emotions coming up. You blast that flood it with energy and flood it with light, and you'll see suddenly you will not have to relive that experience very negatively when you're passing light to that. So that's a completion process. Healing these things. Without healing, it's not good. Like past life therapies are there. Well, I have done many past life therapies with other masters long back, even before coming to my master. I have done it with renowned past life therapists and had very beautiful experience. But the thing is, until you are able to heal it, it's of no use. You have that experience and that experience goes back again, and then it's a experience that's trying to relive itself again. So it will surface some other time again. So, but to a large extent, I have seen that this happens even in your conscious waking period. For me, it has happened many times while I'm traveling, while I'm in different places, or while I'm just meditating in some holy place or something. I have a lot of things that come up. So there I just need to be aware of it. Being aware of it without reaction and looking at that same incident with love is healing. It heals off. Yeah, so I was talking about so many incidences that looked so familiar. And not just that, even this house where I'm living right now, it's a rented space. Previously I was living somewhere else and I didn't like that place. So I was just hoping I get, and I don't know where to find now. Who's going to sit and find these things? Going and hunting for, I was just waiting, okay, let me see when I get the time. And suddenly one day, one lady was passing from outside her home. She was a servant in somebody. She said, there's an empty place there. It's a nice home. If you want, check it out. Somebody has just vacated. So I said, okay, let me just walk a few steps ahead. I walked and I went into this house only. And I saw the owner of this house was cleaning and painting it and all that. The moment I stepped into the house, I felt very nice. I didn't even see any other room, just the living room. I felt very nice. I loved the place. So the owner came and I said, I would love to take this place. He said, you haven't even seen the house. I said, it's okay. He said, you come and have a look. I said, it's okay. I want to take this house. He said, I'm sorry. One person has already booked and he is going to come tomorrow with advance. Some amount of advance he has told and he is gone. So I'm very sorry I have given this house. I didn't say anything because what can you say? I was just looking around. I said, it's nice. And I was thinking what to do now next. Suddenly that owner looked at me and he said, "Can you just wait for a moment?" I said, "Yes." He went inside. He made one or two calls or something. Then he came back again. He said, "Can you do one thing?" I said, "Yes, tell me." He said, "Can you give me an advance check right now?" I said, "Yes, why not?" He said, "Please don't mind I'm asking you this way because I want to show this as a proof to that person who said he's coming tomorrow with the cash, and tell him this house is booked now." I said, "What?" He said, "I want to give this house to you." I said, "Why?" Then he made me sit and he said, "You seem familiar to me." I said, "Do I? But I think this house seems familiar to me." He said, "I don't know why, but somehow the first two sentences that you spoke, I liked somehow. And I would like you to be in my house." I said, "Wow, that's very nice." So I said, I'll give you the check." He said, "Please, please, please." I went rushing and brought the check and wrote it, and he took a picture of it and he WhatsApped it or something and saying that, this place is booked. And somehow he got rid of that person. And he was very happy. Till date, he's very happy. So he says, "You stay forever here in this place. I like you to stay here." Then he asked me. Then I said, "What is this house? Somewhat I feel something good." Then he told me, this house was blessed by his guru. His guru was a follower of Sai Baba. And he said Sai Baba would physically manifest to that his guru. And he had such close bonding with that Sainath. And he was my guru. And he is no more now in the body. He said he has many centers all over the place, but he is not in the body. So back then, 25 years back, I just requested him once, "Can you please come to my house?" And when he came, a new house, when he came, we were laying the foundation of this place. And he said the guru circumambulated in this house, in his own, and he sat here for some time and he blessed this house and he said, "So be it." So this is, I said, that is present here. There's something divine present here. He said, "Yes, I'm so happy that you are talking something which nobody talks about. We can relate to it." And he said, "Please be comfortable here. You please shift today itself." And there were a few more days for the first to come. He said from first you can take in. But that day one more week was there. Now by the end of conversation he changed his mind and he gave the key and said, "You come here immediately. You shift immediately. Forget the 7 days. I'm not going to take any rent for first only, but you come here." So that's how I moved into this house. Familiarity. And then he said, in Marathi he said, "तुम्हाला कुठलं तर पहिला कुठलं तर जन्मात मी भेटलेला आहे, मला ये नक्की आहे." Means he says, "I have met you in some of my past life, somewhere I know that much I am sure." I said, "Yes, I can feel that familiarity." He said, "We are talking as though we know each other for so long. We have never been like a stranger." I said, "Yeah, this happens to me many times and I'm glad this happened here." So this is another one example that I'm telling you. Live example that have happened with this house owner only. And he's today also in that mode only. Then once I was moving with my friends towards Tirunamala only, I met a scientist there. And the scientist was so familiar. He was from Kumbakonam, from Tamil Nadu, and he had worked with Abdul Kalam ji. He was retired from the Atomic Research Center from the government. He was a top scientist. And we spoke for at least 5-6 hours in the train, and everybody was looking, what is this guy talking? And he was so enchanted in this topic because he told me in this 40 years of his service, he did work with so many things, but he was not sure of something called God. He had his doubts about karma. He said, "I feel it is okay, but I don't know, I have doubts." And that night in the train, he cleared all his doubts. By the end of the session, he was like, "Wow, I'm clear. All my 40 years I lived with this doubt, but today it's gone." He was telling his wife, "Look at this, it's all clear." And this person also sounded very familiar to me. And I sounded, he said, like, you seem like my son. So close. I never felt like you're talking to a stranger. And at night when we were sleeping, 4 o'clock Tiruvannamalai we were supposed to get down. 2 o'clock he came to check me out. Very, very nice. I had got down from my berth and I went and sat ahead where there was an empty chair. I was in my meditative moment. 2:30. He came and he slowly touched you. Oh, you're here. I thought Tiruvannamalai is come and you've gone. I just wanted to say bye to you. I said, no, don't worry, sir. You please go and sleep. When Tiruvannamalai comes, just before that, I'll come and meet you and go. He said, yeah, don't go without meeting me. You're like my son. And wow. I said, yes, sir. And he seemed, the feeling, the vibe that I had was like a fatherly figure. Probably he was my father in some birth, I don't know. And before Tiruvannamalai, I just woke him up. And he got up and sat. I touched his feet, took his blessings, his wife's blessings, and left. So these are all the divine meetings that we have in these places. And these are not coincidences. They're very meaningful, in depth. We spend hours together. Such people, such special people whom we meet. So these are unwinding of the journey that we are going through, And this is not just about me. I tell you always, when I share about myself, I'm sharing about you. I represent you. It's your journey also. Maybe you're not aware of it. So once you put your awareness, once you walk in awareness, once you move around in awareness, you'll see beautiful connections happening. Meeting souls, even many souls here online. I've met a couple of you here and there in some, and divine places again. You may meet up in divine places. That's where it's meant to be. We're all meant to be. So what happens is, they were asking what exactly happens, why does this happen with all the people that I communicated with? Why are we meeting? This is what happens when you are coming to a end of all your karmic debts, and when your karma is actually thinning, and when you are towards that liberation. All that is pending, all that is meant to be completed will come into your vicinity. People will be drawn to you. Places will be drawn to you. You will be drawn to places. You will be drawn to people. You will be drawn to circumstances, situations. But be very careful. Because not all the experiences are going to be divinely. No, I have had fair amount of bad experiences also. Wrong experiences. And if I tell you something, it will be very... See, I'll tell you one incident which I can never forget. I was, again in one of my journey, I was, from where I was coming, I don't know, I was returning back to Belgaum, and I was in the journey, whole beautiful journey, powerful journey it was. And the same journey I had met Mohanji also, and some other saints also. I was coming back. In the train, there was a man standing near the door and passing, moving train. So I just wanted to take some pictures, moving pictures of Dudhsagar, it was passing by the Goa place and waterfalls. So I went there and took the picture, and this man was just standing next to me, and I brushed against him, So he looked at me like this. I didn't say anything, I said sorry, and I flicked my pictures and all that, and I went. But he was constantly looking at me. Long time, nothing happened, no touch, not that, it was just a brush. That brush made him look at me, and the moment he looked at me, he was staring at me. He was only staring at me. So long time I saw him. And I came and sat on my seat. So from there he walked and he was going down the aisle. And while he was going, he looked at me suddenly again. He mumbled something and he went. Somehow I was not feeling good. That experience was not good. That vibe which was there was not divinely, very undivine. And then what happens is, you won't believe. This person goes till there, comes back straight, comes next to me, looks at me like this, very angrily. He picks up his leg and gives a hard kick to my leg. I am sitting there just like this. From the side he kicks very hard. And I remember he wore shoes also, nice shoes. With the shoes he kicked. Literally with all the force he could. And that was a jolt to me. I said, what the hell is happening? And before I could look at him, he had kicked and he just walked off coolly. And I don't know where he went. I was like, what is this? And the people around me, what happened? I said, I don't know. Now they thought I must have done something or something. Now what was that? Later, immediately, because at that reflex moment, I was like bewildered, and then I could realize, okay, this also happens. Somebody was supposed to, I was supposed to take it from him. It's a completion. It's a completion. So I need not worry about that thing. Somebody has completed and gone. All that it needed was him to have a look at me. And the opportunity that happened was in the name of that photograph. I went near the door, he was standing there, and I happened to just touch him. He looked at me, and from that time he was staring at me. And he gave a kick and went. No explanations. So, what I'm trying to tell is, there are bound to happen all these kind of experiences. And yes, what happened was, why I talk on this subject was, yesterday the lady whom I said I met in Palampur, and we were who lives in Dalhousie and all that, her daughter is in USA. She happened to try to get in touch with me past 2 days. So I saw that she is attempting to call, and I usually don't speak to people on phone and all that, so I refrain. She also knows, so perhaps after many months she made an attempt. So I thought, let me call. I just called. Heard. She was very excited, and we spoke for 1 hour, and she had a lot of questions in mind. She was asking a lot of doubts. She said, I just want to know certain things, that's why I disturbed you and all that, and we went on. So she was talking about, now something has happened. She's telling, Jacob, something has happened in my life I'm living, and suddenly a man enters into my life, and suddenly a stranger kind of a person he meets, and I feel very familiar with him, and I say okay, and then I find him coming to my house, and even I'm cooking for him, and sharing meals with him, and he's sharing, and it goes on, and then he's like a family man and all that, and then I am getting attached, and then I'm feeling fear. At the same time, I there is an insecurity that wants me to have somebody, which I feel that has manifested into. What is happening? What should I do now? I said, what do you want to do? What is that reaction? What is the feeling that you have with this person and all that? I said, no, I don't like it anymore. Previously I felt this, but now I'm feeling very burdened. I feel claustrophobic with this person. So what now should I do? Then I said, you need not do anything, because it's all on your feeling. If you feel in a certain way, people get attracted to you in a certain way. If you feel the other way, people can get disinterested in you also. So it's all about your vibes. Your vibes created something, your vibes can undo it. And she was telling, but why he looks so familiar? I said, yes, this is bound to happen, because she is also elevating in her journey, evolving in her journey. So I said, yes, well, this journey is coming to an end. You will find a lot of people with your past karmic stuff coming into your life. So you got to be very careful. If you get carried away with it, then you get into this stuff called attachment, and now I'm worried and all those things, because you have not been aware. So if you watch it in awareness, you will not fall into it. So that person has come into your life, now you say it's not. So obviously you can create that vibes within, and you'll see that whatever the karmic ties, len den jo bhi chala, she said it went on for a long time, and I was feeding that person for a long time. I was feeding. I had to only feed, and he used to eat and go. So I said, don't worry about it. It must be something from your past life incident where this person is supposed to eat from you. You are bound to repay that karmic debt by treating this person in some way, and life has given you an opportunity in some way, whatever you call that. Play is a nonsense, whatever name you want to give it, but it has happened. It has brought that person to be repaid, and you have repaid it. So now when you have repaid it, you are feeling that completion. Now you are not having any attachment with that person. Till then you were feeding, you are doing it with your heart. Now you don't feel it anymore. That means it's over. So all that you need to do is contemplate on your vibes and be in that vibes. That vibes will create the external circumstances. You need not tell anything to anybody, because that will always result in unwanted karma. You be that, and what has to happen will happen, and it will naturally let it go off. She said, yes, this is what I want to hear, and finally I've got it. I was confused, and this is what I wanted to hear. So since yesterday night I was thinking about all this. how people come into our lives. And yesterday night I didn't sleep much. I otherwise also don't sleep much. So I was just pacing up and down my room and I was feeling so overwhelmed. I was just contemplating on the kind of people that I've met in my life. All the people that I've met in all these years, this whole life, the new people, new places, how much of karma must have got exhausted in this. Like me being drawn towards New Delhi, towards my guru. I've never been in Delhi. I've never liked that place. I've never liked the food there. I've never liked the environment, but still I was bound to be there. Bound to be there. Spending time with the people, so many people that I met there who looked like a family, big family. Even those who are not related to my guru, I met so many people there who, like a family, we became. So, and when the time is done, when the karmic debts are over of that place, the runa mukti of that place, there's a runa bandhu, bandhan. Runa bandhan means the karmic debt we owe to that place and the people and the circumstances. So when it's over, you are out of it. Automatically, nature works it out. So I could see the patterns of all the people I went there and all the people I got influenced or touched their life, they touched my life and all that. When the time came, everything unwinded so beautifully that there is no kind of attachment with anybody there. But while I was there, it felt like so real and so strong. But while I'm out of there, it's all gone, vanished. So where did that emotion come from? Strong emotion. And where did that vanish? So I understand it is a play of karma. It came, it had to be unwinded, and when it finished its job, it's done. You move ahead. That's how you go ahead. In once, I was going back from my holiday back to the ashram in Delhi, and I used to always read some of the other book. I widely used to read about all the saints. This time I was reading about the mother. The mother is the disciple of Aurobindo, Sri Aurobindo in Pondicherry. Auroville is their ashram. So I've been there multiple times. I've read his books. I like that space and all that. So I was reading this time about the mother. It was a small book that I was carrying. So my flight was from Belgaum via Mumbai to Delhi, and I was reading this, and for some instance I was wanting to have some coffee, so I tucked that book on that in that shelf, in that space where they put the books, and I was having my coffee. There was a person sitting next to me whose eyes fell on that book, and for a long time that person was staring at the book, and the person asked, "This book seems very familiar. Whose is it?" I said, "It's the mother or a Buddha." He said, "Can I read it?" I said, "Please go ahead." He took the book and opened the book and started reading and said, "Oh my God, this is what I was contemplating on. And this is the thing that I had in my life. And here's the answer. I can't believe this." I said, "Then that means the book belongs to you. Please keep it." "So I'll pay you and all that." I said, "Don't worry about it. It's yours. You just keep it. You just continue. I have another books. I'll look with it." I said, "Are you sure?" "I'm 100%. Then we became good friends. We began talking. And then he said, "How does all this happen?" Then I started explaining to him how these things happen. And he went with the book. That book was meant for him. And he fell in love with that place, and that he probably must have gone to that place also. I don't know. But these are all very mysterious kind of things. Nobody can explain. So that is why I always tell the people who are trying to pull me down from my travels, "Why are you doing? Why do you?" I say, "You don't understand. Please. It's my life journey. I understand. It's my soul agenda. Let me be with it. My life, it's my life calling. So whatever is calling, I'm doing it. Everything, whatever is called upon, I just do it without much thoughts. This life I have to do, I don't think, I don't plan. I feel like doing, I just do it. I feel like doing a video, I do it. I feel like doing 10 videos in one day, I do it." Though I might be termed as, net-holic or, videoholic or whatever you call. It's just the call. Whatever the call is, just go by that. And if I feel like going into silence for a day or even a week, I'll do that if it feels so. It's going by the feeling. It's going by what is unwinding for you. There was another mystic that I met in Kolhapur. I was there in Mahalakshmi temple. And look at that. I was meditating at the Navnath spot there, this place where Lord Dattatreya and Navnaths met. And I just got up from my meditation and there was an old lady there. I believe she was a mystic. She has to be, because I was moving and suddenly I saw people running towards her to touch her feet. I turned and looked. She was an old lady in the Maharashtrian sari, you know how they wear that with the tucking in. I came to know if somebody is touching her feet, she must be some divine. I didn't want to know who and all that. I just did not want to miss that opportunity to take a blessing. So I also rushed. And by the time people had just moved, taken her blessings and moved. And when I went close to her, she just looked at me. And she said, "Hey, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine, Amma." I said in Marathi. I said, "I'm fine." And then we spoke something quickly. I touched her feet and she blessed and she said, "She will take care." She was pointing towards Mahalakshmi inside. "She will take care, don't worry." Who was that? Who actually asked, "How are you? How have you been doing?" And I responded, "I've been doing fine, mother. How are you?" No idea to that. I made a short video on her because she was just moving randomly and she was blah blahing something and people were touching her feet. She was moving around. So I felt she's a mystic. I have that on my channel. If you just type mystic and Kolhapur, you'll get that video. These sessions are very eye-opening. Very. Thank you, Hetalji. Most welcome. Thank you, Prabhaji. I'm glad if these videos help. I try to make little different videos than the regular theme because these are based on practical life experiences. And I'm sure we all have this, but we are not aware. So I'm telling you, if you become aware, if you start living in awareness, and if you practice this awareness and you move around and you'll see a different life that you're living. It will not be the same life. Unconsciously when we live, it's a different life. Consciously aware when we live, it's a different life. And spiritual life means aware life. A life of awareness. We got to live it in awareness. Once I had gone to a Jiva Samadhi in Puducherry, in Pondicherry. There we were searching for somebody called Tengai Swami. Tengai Swami is a coconut Siddha. He was known as the Siddha of coconut. Coconut Siddha. Why? Means because he used to see the future of people inside coconuts. So people went to him and with coconuts. They offered him coconuts. So he would break the coconuts and he would open the coconut and see and tell them their life situations and solutions for their life. So he came to be known as Tengai Swami. So I didn't know about his history at all. What is Tengai Swami? He was just in our list of Jiva Samadhis and we were that time freaking out to visit and meditate at Jiva Samadhis. So we went to Puducherry with another Pratapbhai and Shyambhai, two other friends, and we somehow ended up searching. Nobody knew, not a soul could explain. And then we said, let us use our antenna. And we started using our antenna and walking. Wherever we were feeling guided, we were walking. We walked for around 1.5 kilometers, and suddenly I got pulled towards a certain place, a small hut like. Then we'll go and see there. Then we went and saw there. That was the Jiva Samadhi of Tengai Swami. And it was next to a gutter. I still remember. Stinking gutter. A small Samadhi. And Shivling is there. And a very shabbily built cement, this covering on that. And a very dirty curtain that they are closed. I felt very bad looking at in one article I wrote how the Jiva Samadhis are not at all maintained. Because they are not valued. Jiva Samadhis means Samadhis of Siddhas or saints who are entering alive and closing the doors, or closing the earth, burying themselves alive, and then slowly leaving their bodies by keeping their prana intact. They don't leave their prana, they don't live along with your prana. The prana is fully intact in the body, and the soul lives. And they do this purposely, leaving their body fully charged, so that anybody who comes in the vicinity are affected by that prana Shakti. And some take sankalpas of hundreds of years. Some samadhis are, jiva samadhis, can radiate for centuries. And eventually their power keeps on declining. It all depends on the sankalpa that they have made. Anyways, that's a different story altogether. But we ended up in that place, and I was just seeing two coconuts broken like this. That was the picture only drawn there, and there is no photo, nothing. And there was one photo of some Siddha, but nothing else. And I wanted to know, what is this Tengai Swami? What is this coconut Swami? So I sat there, and Pratap and Shyam Bhai also was there, and we were meditating. And I was kind of trying to know, who are you? Who are you, and why have we come? Why are we drawn towards you? What's your mighty self? I was only trying to know that. And when I opened my eyes, there was a boy sitting, a boy in his like 28, 30 years old. He had come with his bike, he had parked there, and he was sitting and he was staring at us. When I opened my eyes, I saw this guy staring at us. So he was taken aback when I looked at him. And then he said, who are you? I said, we have come from so and so place. These are people who have come from Goa, I am come from Karnataka. But why all the way here? I said, we also don't know that. In the list we have this Jiva Samadhi, we are visiting some Samadhis. Pondicherry we had alighted. We went to Pardesi Swamigal's Jiva Samadhi, and from there we have been searching, and somehow we came and we found we are happy. So we meditated here. So he said, he is like my guru. I come here almost every day, but for many weeks now I have not been coming because I am busy with my work. So I was going on the outskirts of the road there on the bike, but while I was going, something suddenly said, go to the Samadhi. And you look at my bike, everywhere Tenga Swami, he had written, the coconuts and everything. He said, even if I remove my stand, I take his name and remove the stand of my vehicle. I am that much connected to him. And all I could remember is, all I could hear is, come to that place. And I came to this place. I said, wow. And he said, do you know who he is? And he was a person who explained all this, what I told about Tengaswami. He was a mistake who roamed here in this place for many years. He healed people, and he told about this, he helped people. And this, I was like, oh my God, this is what I was asking. I said, this is what I was asking Tengaswami here, who's sitting in Jiva Samadhi. Who are you? And here you have come to just explain these things to us. So this happens, synchronicity. And that person, familiarity, some kind of a bond. He gave his number, and he gave another number of another saint in Palani or Tirunamalai, I don't remember. He said, meet that saint, it's a mystic there. He gave address of that. He doesn't, because those are isolated, hidden areas. So I believe these are people who are connected to that, and you don't know what life connections you have with them. A great experience. All this has been one by one. The material world of karma attack looks so real. Though I am aware that I am just a soul, not the mind and body, still this mind plays sometimes so hard that it looks so real. Any way to stay aware about this soul consciousness? Okay, any way to stay aware about the soul consciousness 24/7, no matter whatever happens inside the body and mind and earth. Let me tell you one thing very frankly. We are all seekers on the path. We are all, I'm telling you, I'm not an expert. I'm not a perfectionist where I can say that, I am in 24/7 samadhi, and no, I won't bluff. I will tell you, I am also a seeker, but I am aware to a large extent. So I also have my awareness, sense of awareness, and the awareness drops also at times. That is why I named this as shifting into awareness, because I find myself drifting into body consciousness. When I drift into body consciousness, there is something that becomes aware, and I shift into awareness. So the drift and the shift keeps on happening. So this is a practice that even I am doing. I drift out and then I come into awareness. So it's like you are making it a constant attempt of practicing this again and again and again and again till this becomes a part of you. I remember many years back, it was very difficult to pull myself out of this and to come into the realization, I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I am somebody else. Yes, intellectually I know this, but how do I put it into my awareness? I found this practice of awareness, being aware, this practicing of with open eyes, being aware of everything. If something is there in front of me, I become aware of it. Not known to it, aware of it. Like I'm looking out, I see a plant, I become fully aware of its consciousness. I try to become aware of its what could be its feeling, what could be its energy. If I hold something in my hand, I hold this pen in my hand. So one way is just looking at this. So if I say I'm not the body, I'm the soul, then my soul has a different awareness, and I don't look at this pen as a gross thing. I become aware of it. I don't look at it. I become aware of the pen. So when I become aware of the pen, there's a different sensation. I'm just looking at this pen in total awareness. Suddenly you'll start feeling this as something that is not actually dead or gross. You'll start feeling that this has a consciousness of its own. You'll start sensing a certain kind of aura around. Everything has got an aura. Every object has got an aura. So you become more and more aware of the gross, more and more aware of the subtle around this. These are practices I'm saying. So when you have this kind of a practice where everything that you look at, even you're looking at the book, you're looking at a person, when you're looking at a person in front of you, you don't look at that person as a person. I do this in my travel, while I'm traveling or while I'm in the mountains, when I'm in holy places. I observe people there because many mystics are hidden in that. Many mystics are just hidden. You cannot spot them until you have awareness. If you look through your eyes, physical eyes, you'll miss them. Many can be only sensed through your awareness. So that habit of constantly looking into awareness, this developed slowly in me. This is which I then, once it became very proficient, then I said, this can be a good practice. And that is when I started this shifting into awareness, because I saw many experiences of mine in awareness was happening beautiful. Even the moments that I spent with my master, one was looking at the master as a physical body, and the other was being aware of his presence. Made big difference. One is seeing him, then you react to him bodily. You react as though I am the body. And what are the body needs? Oh, I need something. My parents need something. My family needs something. This is my lack in my life. I need something. If I meet this person, I will get that something. It is all a transaction when you are in body consciousness. But same when you become aware of the consciousness of the master, all this shuts down. All these external needs and greed and all these external motivation just shuts down. You just become aware of the presence. You become knowing of a certain existence that is there. And suddenly when you become aware of it, you go into a different realm itself. Because as I said, you look at this pen, it has got a consciousness. It's not an evolved consciousness, very low consciousness, but it has consciousness. Same, you look at a master who is a mystic, who has a vast aura, who is very evolved. Suddenly your consciousness merges into that. What will happen? You are into that space. Boom. This I saw in my sadhana. Whatever I do, whenever I look at the Meru, Mahameru, it is one is looking with the gross eyes, the other is looking at it in awareness. Being aware of the Meru, not looking at it. Being aware of that presence. Because when you look at the Meru, it's a consciousness. What is the consciousness? It's the consciousness connecting with the consciousness of that element, of that deity or that embodiment of the mother there. You're directly connecting with that consciousness. So it helped me actually connect to directly to that consciousness which it is connected to. That is what happens. Whatever we look at, we connect to the consciousness that is connected to. You look at a Shivlinga, you are not going to connect to Shakti. Though it's all mixed, but you will connect to the element of Shiva. The tattva is that. Whatever it is, without your knowledge also, you will connect just to that consciousness. Forget that. You take a book, you read a book. You take a book and you read. Now when you're reading this, whoever is the author of this book, that person's consciousness is connected with the book. So if you become aware of the book, what you are doing is you become aware of the consciousness of the book. What is the consciousness of the book? It is the consciousness of the author that is being poured out there. So you are connecting to the consciousness of the author. The higher evolved the author, the much beneficial. That is why it is always preferred that you read books of higher wisdom, sacred books. Nothing less than Vedas and Upanishads, the highest conscious books, than a lower conscious books. Any other books, if you read a grass book, any book written by any author, you are indirectly reading the consciousness of that author. As simple as that. So, with these practices, it helped me understand consciousness more better. And when I am looking at a person, it's like you are looking at the consciousness of that person. You become aware of the consciousness of that person, and then suddenly you become aware of the soulfulness of that person. You don't get into the body stuff. You become aware of the soulful presence, and because that person also is not the body, that person is of soul. So when you look at that person in awareness, you are connecting to the soul. And when you see the soul in others, it's not easy to see the soul in you, because it is the soul in you only that will see the soul in others. The body in you will never see the soul in others. Please understand, body consciousness cannot see the soul consciousness of somebody. To see somebody's soul consciousness, you have to go above the body. When you are in the soul consciousness only, you can see their consciousness. So these are all my experiments that I found very beneficial on the path, and that is how I ended up teaching even the people, teaching and preaching, or whatever you call it, even in trains and even in buses. Most of the time I spend hours talking to people, and all, I'm telling you, all are of different communities. I'm telling you, when I'm traveling, I meet people from all religion, even Buddhists and Muslims and Christians, and I'm telling you, with these live examples, they are not bothered about your gross consciousness. If you talk to them on gross consciousness, what is gross consciousness? If I'm talking to a Hindu and I become very gross conscious, and what I'll talk is from my gross consciousness, I will talk Christianity to a Hindu. Now why that person is a Hindu? Because that person also is in gross consciousness. It will not match. Hindu Christianity might not match. Hindu Muslim might, absolutely. Gross consciousness. But I'm telling you, if you get above the gross consciousness and then you communicate through your conscious awareness, the subject of whatever, I'm telling you, you will link like this with that person. I've seen this. So be it Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, or any Buddhist or anybody, I've seen they immediately catch the essence, because all the religions have got the essence of the same soul. And where is all coming from? From Adi Parashakti. All is a creation of who? Parabrahman. The Parabrahman has created everything. Everybody is coming from there. Down it has come and diversified. That doesn't mean they are different. They have the soul consciousness of that highest tattva. This is my personal experience. So I have no boundaries. Whenever I talk, I don't talk on boundaries. I don't talk with limitation of just one community, just one path. I cannot do that. I talk from just that soul consciousness which has no religion, no path, no community, no culture, no traditions, nothing that is diversified. I have seen when I do that, I have more respect for all the traditions, all the religions, and all the paths, all the masters. I am able to merge with all the things because there is inside, there is no bifurcation, there is no diversity, there is no confusion, there is no doubt. Doubt and confusion come from diversity, come from boundaries, because you have boundaries. That is different, this is different, then obviously you will have that as a different explanation, this has a different definition, and they will clash. But when you rise above this and you talk from awareness, and when you see from awareness, when you have become aware, you don't see all this. You just see that as a soul. Like all the fellow members that I met in my journey, meeting them as souls, conversing as souls. And I'm telling you, literally doesn't matter who they are, from where they have come. I have met people, even while in Bangalore, people I have conversed many times, people with art of living people, who have invited me, come there, come, not to convert me or anything, come. They are like, oh, we belong to this community, come. You can spend some time with us here. I've met many, I have many friends of Isha Foundation, and I've been there many times. Now, going there doesn't mean I'm changing a path or changing a master. No, that is all these mediocre mind limitations. It's mediocre. It's very, very limited tendencies of you, mine. They are different. We don't see on that. We are seeing soul consciousness. We are seeing the awareness of that. And we are respecting everything. I have been in Isha Foundation also many times. I've been welcomed. I have friends who are committed long term there. I have friends who are committed long term in Art of Living, in Pyramid Valley, in Gurukul. There are so many paths that I have seen. But nowhere have I had this experience where anybody is trying to convert me. They respect me for who I am, where I come from. They respect my master. They know I am coming from this master and this path. They have respect for that path and that master. How will anybody have respect for your master and your path? If they have respect for you, they will have respect automatically for your master and your path. With the way you behave, the way you deal with them, the way your consciousness is, that reflects the consciousness of your master, of your path. That is how you become welcoming. And I'm telling you, nobody is trying to convert me. Nobody has said, oh, what are you doing? Come and try ours. No, they'll say, just be here. And go. Hospitality, they serve like a guest. Like for them, guests are like gods. Same is done from my end. When people come, yes, we talk. And if somebody is talking about their guru, their path, I don't, no, hamare isme aisa nahi, never. I have always learned, what more? How does it? Oh, our master says this way, our book says this way, our culture says this way. I said, beautiful, that's beautiful. So when I go and I travel, and many places I travel, I don't travel with intent I have to go somewhere. I end up in some spaces, in ashrams. Many times I have ended up in ashrams. Many ashrams which don't belong to the gross segregation. Many times it has happened. I've entered, and never in single ashram I felt like, somebody is like treating me like a stranger. No. Many, they are not even bothered. Who do you come from? What they are doing? You talk spiritual, they talk spirituality. I've met many gurus, I've met many masters, whom when I go and take their blessings, they ask where I come from. I tell from so and so. They ask any master. I say yes. I sometimes show the photo. And then they talk, all that they talk is spirituality. The essence of spirituality. So it's a beautiful journey that way. But it might not be possible for everybody. I see that because people get confused. How? That is because of this getting stuck in the lower consciousness. Once you rise above it, you are grounded in your path. You are grounded in your own sadhana. But you don't defy, you don't deny anything else that is beyond that. You have respect for everything. I have immense respect for the people whom I have met. Yesterday I was just contemplating. I was saying, what beautiful souls I have met. All my life. And they came like a breeze and went like a breeze. It's not that we have held for lifetime. No. They came, had a big influence in my life. I made a big influence in their life. And they moved on. Different paths, different religions, different traditions. Nowhere did I try to influence them. Nowhere did they try to influence me. Why? Because the level of consciousness is that there is no need to influence anybody. We are already connected on that level. We don't need to fight. We don't need to argue, debate, or who's better, that's all lower consciousness stuff. So what I'm trying to tell you is, this is what the gift of awareness is. If you have the gift of awareness, because this is oneness. Ultimately, what is the highest truth? Tell me, what is the highest truth? What is the highest truth? Highest truth is oneness. We all come from the same source, from the same Parabrahman. We are coming from there. We have got lost in multiple janmas. And what about religion? Christian, I am a Christian. I am in our this, we tradition, we follow this. I've met those kind of people. So say, आपका ऐसा है, हमारा religion में ऐसा है, हमारा religion में ऐसा है. अरे हमारा religion what? You don't even know. If you had the tendency or capacity to look into your past life, you will see that you belong to that religion which you are criticizing also. My personal experience. I've been a Muslim, I've been a Brahmin. In this lifetime, I am a Christian. So I don't believe in this cloaks that we are wearing. First-hand experience I have. Because when I belong to a certain janma, when I was an Islamic person, I was a strong and rigid Islamic person. And for that, in that lifetime, that only was it and nothing else. Then I fell into a Brahmin body. Then that was it, nothing else. Then I fell into a Christian body. This is it, nothing else. Apart from Christianity, nothing else. It is illusion. It's not the truth. It is only that limited consciousness of that birth only which makes you like a frog in the well. This is my well and this is all that is. Nothing exists beyond this well. Everything is in the well. Frog in the well story. Every lifetime we are stuck in this. But if you raise your consciousness and once you become aware of your multiple births, multiple lifetimes, you will see that this is all of no sense. It doesn't make any sense. And we have been just chola badalte aaye. We have been just changing our attire. And every time we feel proud of our own status, of our own community, own religion, it is a madness, kind of madness. We're stuck in that. So when I was looking into this, yesterday I was feeling overwhelming. Yesterday I was talking to that lady who called and was asking about these things. And she said, I do pray for my children. She's in this US, I am praying for her and all that. But you know what happens when I'm trying to pray for my children? I don't feel like praying for my children. I don't feel like praying for my family. You know what I feel? I feel like what is special about my children, my family? What are others are not humans? Others are not deserving happiness, deserving peace, deserving to come out of sufferings. So when you are aware of it, how I don't feel like I should only pray. So what I do is, now I've changed my prayer mode. She said, I am just praying that the whole world be healed, all the communities, the whole earth be healed, all the humanitarian things get healed. And I just reminded her, not just that, even there are plants. And she said, plants and animals, I'll include them also. Plant, I said, this is evolution. This is the evolution of human consciousness. Till when are we going to be stuck in a me and mine? My family, my people, me and mine. When you explode out of this, only becomes clear the statement. I am not saying this, even your Shastra says this. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. One world, one family. That was not just a dialogue said by somebody. It is the truth, it is the ultimate truth. Someday we are going to live in it. Why not become aware of it? And there is nothing to lose. Sometimes the mind, the ego can be so cheap, so so little that it can think, no, if I think about the world and all, what will happen to my family, then my energy is this thing low, I'll put it on my family. Why should I waste money? That thing also can come. It can come. So if that is coming, that's it's not something that is for the highest. It's not the highest evolved experience. So rather we rise above all these things and see everything as one. That is when we are open to experiences. When you treat your whole family, see, what did I say in the start of this video was, where do we get born? We get born into a family where you have the highest number of karmas to finish. So brother, sister, father, mother, son, daughter, uncle, auntie, all that. The khichdi and the game starts. And all the dramas begin, all the films and characters in the role. The whole life goes in that. Playing that drama, unwinding and winding, and creating and uncreating. This is the whole thing. Unconsciously you end up creating, it never is over. So you leave the body and then you take more. Let's say you have 5 people in the family. With 3 people you are rigid, 2 people you have released somewhere and neutral and okay, gone. The 3 people you have not finished. So next janma what will happen is, the 2 are gone out of your life, the 3 souls will be planning in some other meeting. Oh, this was a father, a very crude father in this lifetime, and he made me suffer like anything. A narcissist father, and sucked the life out of me, and I can't forgive him, and I die, and he dies, and then you take another Janma. Oh, narcissist father, you got to pay the price. Now you become the narcissist father, and that becomes a son, and that becomes born to you as a son. Then you become dominating. You start controlling it continuously. And that poor soul is suffering now, saying, what मैंने क्या गलती किया था, ऐसे father मिला. You don't know. It's your past life. You just see. You are that. You did just the same thing. And you're playing. So, this hodgepodge drama which is there in our lives, in our daily lives, which we have with our close ones, it's all just that. It's the unwinding and, creating and uncreating. We destroy karmas, we make karmas. This is all the play of consciousness that goes on. So I was saying, we get born into that family which has the urgent need to finish off your karma. Now when your consciousness expands, till your consciousness is low, it will be me, my family, me, my family, me, my loved ones, me, my loved ones. Once it expands and the me and mineness expands into the whole humanity, then what happens? Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The whole world is my family. The whole world belongs to me. I belong to the whole world. When that comes, the real purpose of your incarnation. What did I say? You get incarnated to a certain family to finish. Now, Vasudeva Kutumbakam. It's your whole family. And when now you are in this earth with that kind of awareness, the whole world is my family. What has happened? The whole world has become your family. Now you are clearing your karmas within the family itself. And what is the family? It might be somebody who's 6,000 kilometers away. Somebody, they will be drawn to you. Time up. One family now. Same unwinding of whatever happens in that little family. Now the whole family. That is when I'm saying the whole population gets churned, and whoever somewhere is remaining your karma, they will come into your life. And I have seen most of the time they come in places of holy places, divine places, because that I find is a very beautiful divine place for meeting of common people, of people who are meant to come together. Sitting in your home, nobody might come, if they are in different places. So they might be destined to come at a certain place, and you are destined to come at the same time, same place, and you end up, which the whole video today I talked about, so many experiences. Same place, we meet. And we all bump into, and there is so much familiarity, and there is so much of unwinding. Give and take takes place. I see most of the time, I feel very drawn to pay the bills for somebody, even the sometimes the train charges or the bus charges, very, very strongly. And sometimes I don't feel like taking my wallet out. They keep on paying for the food and all that. I go with my feeling. It's give and take. Somebody is supposed to give you something, somebody is supposed to take something from you. In this awareness, if you are, somehow you will know. You will know somehow whether you have to give or take. There is no mental activity for that. There is no certain method to find that out. It is your intuition, it's your knowing, which will allow you to do. And you're doing that in the highest space. Unwinding of karma. So the give and take happens. Most of the time we give, most of the time we take. So we allow. Whatever happens, we just go with the flow. So same way, in some other ashram I was there recently. Again, not a planned visit. I was passing and suddenly I dropped in there. Now I don't take names of these places because they are very controversial. Because I have seen that, whenever I take name or say, people want to go there. It's nothing to do there. It's my journey. There's nothing hidden there. That many people sometimes I don't mention. They ask, what is the name of that place? You have got to tell. As though something is mysteriously hidden there. There's nothing mysteriously hidden. Let me tell you one thing. If you are meant to go there, no power on earth can stop you. You will end up going there. If you are not meant to go there, you do anything, it will not happen. We should never work with logic. So it's not that somebody went, I should go. It's not that way. Some places. So I was in one place and I met beautiful souls there. Beautiful, loving people and loving. They had a different community, they had a different structure, they had their own way of living and everything, but beautifully evolved souls. Just like in our own community, like in where I had regularly been in Delhi and all, in Shivyo communities. A lot of bubbling people, a lot of evolved people, a lot of divine people I've met in that community. But I also see when I move into other communities, I bump across people who are also shining. It shows that all the paths are so shining and so bright and divine. All the masters, they are guiding their people in their own way. And different different techniques, different method, sometimes even completely contradicting each other. If you just look at that, I don't fall into that because I know from what level it is. But if you are in a grass, you'll say, oh, this is different, that is different, oh, this is confusion, that is wrong or this is wrong, and it doesn't go that way. So, and what I do whenever I'm moving to all these places, I have learned a lot from my place, from my master, from my community and all that. I have that in my being. So whenever I go out and I see something new, something that's very beautiful, I adapt into my life. I add on, it's an add-on into my life. I add it on without any hesitation. But something I feel is contradicting or something not, which I vibe well with it, I immediately don't look at it. I immediately put that down and move to the next. Why? Because if I ponder on that, I will find myself judging something else. I don't want to judge. It might be good for somebody else. It's contradicting with me. I don't take it. So what is beneficial, I take that. So this way I have built up all the good things only. All the good things from there. And from people. So these communities also where I visited, when I visited, very divine people, very loving people, very beautiful, and I never felt like it's a different place. It's all felt one belonging, and we became very good friends, very good friends. We are still together, and we just met recently. And mind you, they all know where I come from, which community I come from. Which nobody tries to change me, nor I try to change them. But we have a very affectionate and loving relationship. We are all meditators. We meditate together. We meditated together there also. We meditate outside also. And I have met clairvoyants, literally clairvoyants. You can literally see all divine people, evolved beings, who are being with their masters and evolved. Very close, right hand of their masters. Become very good friends. Very evolved. Clairvoyantly, they are authors, they have written books. But we became good friends. Not on that, I have written this, I have done that, you come from. Nothing to do. It's soul connection. We connect with each other, we vibe well, there is a kind of love that we exchange, and we become friends. And then all that are talks and all that, whatever, whenever we talk, we don't talk blah blah blah. Whenever we talk, even if it is weekly once or some, it is only and only spirituality. Higher spirituality. Nothing else. There will be a time in life when all that you will need to do is just this. You are not interested in anything else. There is no interest that comes in. I often meet even friends who are in the same path, but friends who are still connected to their past and still connected to the grossness material world, very strong to that. So whenever we meet, my close friends again we end up talking only the higher spirituality. But somewhere they get into the lower, that time I become silent. I don't talk anything. So they talk about blah blah blah, this happened, that happened, news or politics, this happened, then I'm just silent. Because that doesn't interest. So become neutral to it. And then sometimes they sense it, that this guy is not being a part of it, or not, we are not being a part of, then they drop that, and then they come to I am again by lively. So that is my forte. So what happens is, in that evolution that we have, evolution ladder, you will keep on meeting people who are refined and refined and refined. So you don't have to literally hunt for refined people or evolved people. You have to do it on yourself, because your vibes will tend to attract only those people who are in that, who are at that vibratory level, at that functional level. And then it becomes a beautiful world when there is no need to even talk much. We hardly talk. Few sentences enough. It's like talking books. Everything is revealed in that. And these people don't talk much. We meditate more. We talk less. With the other gross world, it is like you need more of talking and meditation less. So I think I shared whatever I wanted to share today. Yeah, so Shreyasi Swamiji, what I was asking, what I was trying to tell you here was, is there any way, you said 24/7, is it possible? I don't have a solution for that, because 24/7 I have not lived, very honest. But a large part of 24/7 I managed to get into awareness. But there are moments when I slip down or I move down. Sometimes it is needed, sometimes maybe it's natural, sometimes it's karmic, whatever it is. What I make an effort is to shift back into awareness, stay back into awareness. So what I can tell you is, if you practice not this kind of awareness of what I'm talking in this video, that about lifetimes and meeting people of multiple lifetimes. I'm not just talking limited to this. If you practice a general kind of awareness, being aware of everything, every material that you look at, every book you pick, every person you see, every object you look at it with awareness. Naturally that will become a part of you, that your habit. And then spontaneously you will start moving, shifting into awareness. Now you're forcing a shift into awareness when you look at something and becoming aware. But when you do it more and more often, you'll see that something within automatically switches, so shift into awareness. And sometimes when you're moving around, you'll see that you have not made a conscious effort to move into that awareness. Naturally you are already in that state of awareness. Sometimes you meet people, whenever like I'm in a train, I'm moving, and suddenly somebody is talking, or I'm looking at somebody, I see that I'm looking at already in awareness. I don't have to shift, I'm already in that phase. So that spontaneously happens. So that's one way, and it's very natural, like you said, the mind to get caught up. Even though we know I'm not the body, I'm the soul, and the mind can play a lot of tricks. It can pull you down again and again. But then, as a seeker of, and the practice that we do, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to practice just this. Our whole practice is to gain more and more efficiency into becoming aware, more and more aware. Okay. So any questions on today's session and this video that you need to have on? I'll shed some light into it, or anything else you may ask, or I can. One beautiful incident that happened again was, I was once, many years back, traveling with Vijayanand Swami and his disciples. Of course, they always consider me as a part of their family, so that's very nice. I feel, though they know my practices are different. So I travel very freely with him. And once we had gone to meet an Avduta uh, named Chapama. She was a lady, very powerful Avduta. We went many kilometers, very far. I think 4 5 hours we traveled, and a lot of people. And we were coming back. I remember Petra also was there. Petra from Finland. She was there, and her boyfriend also was there. Two Westerners also with us, and we met her, and we were coming back. And yeah, Nitaji, thank you. We were coming back, and at around 12:30 or something, we were on a deserted road, and tire punctured. There were two cars, one car tire puncture, in which Swamiji and me were traveling, and that car came and halted at a spot, completely isolated, pura deserted, only darkness, wilderness, no human being to be seen. Some dogs can be seen, deserted road. And it stopped, and all when we got out, all we could see is a small hut. Small hut. We thought, what is this now? It's an isolated hut, like nobody is there inside and all that. Now we were feeling hungry, we were feeling thirsty, we didn't know where to go, and we didn't know what to do. So one of the guys called up the ashram and found out that, and connected with him and said that send another vehicle. Then we found that by the time that vehicle comes, it's going to be 3 hours. Almost 3 hours to reach there. So we said, now we are deserted for 3 years. So we sat and we were discussing. I was with Petra, we were talking on different spiritual subjects and all that. And then we just moved to that hut to see if we can get some water or something. And we saw the hut was locked from inside. And we didn't know what to do. So we were blabbering there, and somebody came and opened the hut. It was an old poor man. He opened the hut and he said, what happened? We said, we were going like this and this thing happened. And he said, please, when we said there is a Swamiji, he looked into the car and he said, oh, there is a Mahatma. Please come into my humble hut. Please ask him to come. I said, you only tell. Then he went and requested. The Swamiji is very loving. He said, okay, I'll come. And we all got down, and then he woke his wife up. Very poor people, two husband and wife. And we came to know that hut was a small tea stall, which was closed for the day, and the poor couple had finished their little business and they were sleeping, and they started making tea for us, and we saw there were biscuits in there, little small things, the bottles and all that. I said, wow, what we are looking for, in this deserted place, nothing around, and here we have this hut. So Swamiji came in and he made all very comfortable. Little hut, all smeared with cow dung and all that, that kind. Very poor people, torn clothes and all that. But the way he was running around, the way enthusiastically he was preparing with whatever little he had, he was assuring, I'll make this tea, you wait, you sit, you feel comfortable and all that. And then he came, he shared with everybody, and there was not even enough vessels. We had to do one round and then wash it, and then the other end, that kind of, but he was so loving that even Swamiji was felt very comfortable. And he was very concerned. He was telling, I don't even have chairs here and all that. Swami said, this is the most comfortable place that I have sat ever, and I am very comfortable, don't worry at all. He was nicely sitting, and we were all sitting and enjoying, and we sat there for 2 hours. 2 hours we were talking a lot of things, and all our spiritual discussions are now husband and wife both have got up from their sleep, imagine, and sitting there. So we were feeling very guilty. They need to sleep now, they helped us and all that. But he was saying, no, please be seated. It is my great punya that you guys are sitting here and you are talking all divine things, about divine things. So whatever little I can understand, he was sitting and listening there. I was very moved by that person. And he and his poor wife, both of them were sitting. And then he started telling his problems. I have been a lot of problems, lot of debts are there. My children are there, but my children have left and gone. They are nowhere here. We both are struggling, husband and wife. there is a lot of debts to clear, we don't know where to go, what to do and all that, so we are just looking and all. I was like, oh my god, he's going through so much problem, but the way he served, he said even the business is running in loss, we can't meet our needs in that way, and here is a person who is opening up biscuits packets and serving with his whole heart and making tea and milk and everything. He's running around for sugar, I don't know from where all he adjusted and everything. I said, wow. Then Swamiji told him, just meet this Avduta and surely it will help. I said, which Avduta? I said, you don't know? There's one Avduta here. No, I don't know. I said, really? A Mahatma is staying here so close? I don't know. Then he was like hitting his head. And he was telling, look at my misfortune. This kind of a Daridra, he said, Daridra life I am going through. That, even a Mahatma is in my vicinity and I don't know, you guys have come from so far and I don't even know there is somebody like this. What a wretched life. He was like that. Swamiji was assuring him nothing. I was also telling him nothing to worry about. Things will open up. We talked about how these are karmic and all those things. You just need to get over these things. Just move through it. Swamiji told very beautiful stories of such poor couples and all, how karma affected and how their fortune changed. And they said, no, I came to know why you guys have come here. We were praying that we don't even have a Mahatma anywhere around, and now your car stopped here. We know it is a divine intervention. You have come here to give the solution. We know now where to go. We know what to do. Thank you so much for coming here. You are godly sent, he said. This is our prayers answered. So we know now what to do. We'll go there. So this incident happened, and then by the time the car came in, the other car came, and by the time we had a second round of tea there, he said, let's have one more round. He said, okay, great. I asked him deliberately, can you make, just to see what he would say. He was very happy to, and he made one more. And before leaving, we showered him with a lot of money. He was like shocked. I cannot. He said, no, nothing doing. It was in our dire circumstances. We would have spent this in some hotel or stayed in a room and all those things and all. You deserve it. You need to give. And he was very happy. And he was saying, God was sent this saint to my place and all that. So there also I was telling, there was so much familiarity with that place, that hut, that homeliness. Even Swamiji was telling, I felt like home in that place. It was like my home. And what was it in that little place, in that deserted place? And that poor couple, I still remember them. They look so familiar. Connections from a past life. Some give and take. And that happened there. That give and take happened. It was supposed to happen. That puncture was supposed to happen. So that also was not a closure. It was a redirection to that hut. Something life redirected us to that hut because that was necessary. Like yesterday in our travel, I said we were coming and suddenly we took a shortcut road. We were supposed to reach in a certain time, like 2.5 hours we were supposed to reach. And when we came in the mid, we saw a huge storm and huge rain. And the rain was so deadly. Because here what happens in heavy rains, a lot of trees fall. A lot of mishaps occur on this because of huts get blown away, and the wind is very powerful, and there was thunder, lightning, and hailstorm on top of that. So it was pounding on our car like hell, and I could sense my friend was already tense. He was saying, very dangerous situation. I said, don't think about all that, let's go. And we were going, and still that tension mahol I was feeling. Suddenly a tree fell in front of us. Just one vehicle was there in front of us, just in front, and everything was just halted. And he was like perturbed. So I just took a short video of that moment. I just wanted to capture that moment. And we were saying, okay, let's take a turn. Let's take a diversion from here. No. He was like, these rains are very dangerous. I said, let's not create it. And I just reminded him, we are well protected, nothing to worry about. So we took a turn, we searched the Google map, and it was a long turn, and we said, oh my God, it's going to be very delayed. 2.5 hours was this, now this will take 3 hours I think, and we went on a different route, completely different. And then just hardly 7-8 kilometers we had travelled. We saw there was no rain in that area. It was completely dry. Only this patch was having heavy rains. It completely dry, and it was a big highway, wide and two-way road, and completely we could go at 100, 120 speed. Which there it was not. It was narrow and the speed was not very fast. And there were potholes and all that. This was plain and sunny and wider road and faster road. Then I reminded my friend, see, the tree falling is not an obstacle. The rain is not an obstacle. The shower is not an obstacle. The thunder is not an obstacle. They are not closures. They are not road closures. We feel they are closures. Oh, what happened? They are redirections. Life always, I was talking on the blueprint that we have. The blueprint that we already have. The blueprint changes every moment. And the divine intervention is there in that. If this is not going to work out for your highest good and the highest good of all, it will immediately show a redirection to you. This is supposed to be. But if you are stuck in logic, you will calculate, oh my God, this was a better road, this could have taken us faster, and we had already come, so why we have to take a diversion? Or we are in a spiritual trip, we are supposed to be guided, we are supposed to be protected, then why did this happen? Why? Anything can happen. Even it can sound as a mishap, it can sound as an unfortunate incident in life. But if you look through awareness into that, you will see that even that negative incident will give you a turnabout into something. I'm sorry, I'm feeling so itchy. This is all this energy kind of thing, It's feeling very uncomfortable. It's moving around. Tingling everywhere on my face. So yes, that redirection again, I reminded him. See, this is how the redirections happen. At that moment, we might feel something wrong is happening. But if you eventually see, it will be for your highest good. So all these but awareness is important. You got to be in awareness, and the blueprint will keep on working, but your highest intention of your highest goal should be on your priority, which I've always mentioned. All other priorities are there. We need this, we need that, worldly, everything is there. But somewhere in the back of my mind, on the top, is that I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this intellect, I am not this being what I am supposed to look like or feel like. I am something beyond. I am going somewhere else. Where have I come from? Where am I going? And what am I supposed to do in this life? These three questions, very important. In awareness only it can happen. So when you know that this is not my real ending, this is not my end of my journey, there is a journey that I got to complete, and it will only complete when I hit that spot, that higher state of being completely liberated from all karmic bondage, is when I am going to finish this journey. Not this life end. This life end is just a continuation. I am going to have many more. As much I have come bumping so many lifetimes after lifetimes to reach here, I will continue going in this manner if I am not aware. So that highest longing that you have, that I need to liberate. And here life pattern, the grid, the map, the blueprint keeps changing according to meet that need. It keeps adjusting, readjusting again and again, and makes you move across all those experiences which are supposed to happen in order to overcome and transcend those karmic ties. So when that process is happening, it may seem uncomfortable, it may look challenging, and that is what we all are having. We say, we are on the path, we are following this path, we are doing our sadhana, we are doing this, but this problem is coming. That don't look at it as a problem. It's not a problem. It is something that is meant to come into your life to, in order to have completion. Look at it as a completion, that something incomplete is come to have an incompletion. Even when there is a road closure, there is a roadblock, something unexpected happens, don't look at it, look beyond it. Even if it is painful, there might be situations in life when they are painful. There might be something happening, a death happening, or some mishap happening, some misfortune happening, and then you say, how can you look positively into the yes? That is supposed to happen. That is all supposed to happen as a part of your life journey. You are not supposed to get clutched anywhere. You are supposed to have it as a milestone. Everything is a milestone. You keep on going, one after the other. So when you have that attitude of awareness, this is happening for my highest good, even that the strength and the power of that negative incidents will diminish to a large extent, which otherwise we would have got stuck, reacted and created more karmas, or maybe even got jolted there itself. Now with that awareness, you can move through it, maybe with some difficulty or something, but you can move through it. This has been my life experience. I've seen so many times in life where I've seen and felt that, oh, this is the closure, this is the end now, khatam, it's all over. So many times I've felt, even to the point of death. Somewhere I felt like, yeah, I'm going to die now, there's nothing left. I've seen death that close, and then something happens, something changes. Grace of the Master, grace of the Guru Mandala, grace of the path, grace of this awareness. If it is supposed to happen, it is supposed to happen in your journey. So that awareness of knowing whatever is supposed to happen will happen. It's supposed to take me on this journey, it will go. But I need to do the sadhana, I need to do those, I need to make efforts, I need to do good tasks. Why? Because my blueprint, I will be helping my blueprint, which can be very tedious. Maybe the journey is very tedious ahead also, but as much as I do better and positive and divine things, it will help and nullify a lot of things which otherwise I can be struggling with. So with this awareness, when we do our sadhana, when we do walk our path, when we do all the good deeds, when we travel, when we move around in life spontaneously, without too much of logic, things start unwinding. I have seen lot of connections happening in the journey through this surrender moving only. Many solutions have come up, which otherwise I don't think, if I sit thinking, like hitting my head, what is the solution, what should I do, or ask this person, that person, I don't think there would have been a solution. But sometimes with just going with the flow, with whatever happens, I've seen that roads open. Sometimes unfamiliar territories you are put in and new things open, new opportunities open, new horizons are seen, new dimensions open. So that's one of the best thing that can happen when you travel in surrender. Travel, I don't mean journeys. I'm talking the whole traveling of this life journey itself. This life itself is a journey. Hetal Naik. My God. Sometimes, Bhaiya, we experiencing something, it is not good, aware of uneasiness it causes, but still complete it. Is this also something to an karmic debt or learning? Or everything, I believe everything is an unwinding of some karma. See, till you have karma, you will have journey. You will have the breath till you have karma. You will have life till you have karma. Life or lifetimes till you have karma. Once everything is nullified, then there is no point in life. You have a life because there is karma. One beautiful story of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Great mystics. Yes, Etalji. What I just shared answered your question. I know. What I was just talking simultaneously when your question was coming, the same thing I was talking. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa he has his wife Sharda Ma, who he doesn't consider as a wife but mother. So he is in that state all the time, and she is cooking food, and Sri Ramakrishna is sitting with his disciples. Disciples come to his house and they listen to his talks, and he's helping them, guiding and talking about the divine and all that. So every day it's like students coming and sitting and going. So he's talking, one fine day he's talking, and then suddenly he smells something nice. And he runs to the kitchen and he sees Shardama is cooking something. He says, "What are you cooking? What is this?" She looks at him with awe and she says, "You are lured by the food smell? I can't understand this." He said, "Go and sit and talk to your people there. What will they think? That you're running inside the kitchen for food. Is food so important than what you are giving them there? I can't believe you are doing this. So he repeats this many times. So Ma is very confused and say, how can you do this when the students are gone? Why are you doing this? I didn't expect this from you. Then he says, I am regularly asking you for food. Have you noticed it? I am asking you for food. All the time I ask, what have you cooked? What, bring this to eat or make this to eat. All revolving food only I am on. She says, yes, you are such a mighty person and why are you stuck in this? I can't understand this. Then he says, Ramakrishna says, the day I don't ask for food, know that my life has come to an end. She doesn't understand this. Many days or years or months pass, and every day he regularly asks for food. This time he doesn't ask. Suddenly she remembers, oh my God, he had said this. And as truly predicted, after a few days, the master left the body. She is jolted by this. Now what happened? Another master explained this phenomena. He said, Sri Ramakrishna had already exhausted his karma. All his karma was exhausted. Now if the karma is exhausted, you will drop dead. There is no point in having a body. You have a body, you have an intellect, you have a mind, you have even this ego consciousness formed only to live that karma, to experience that karma. That is why all this whole thing is created from the Panchatattva, from the 5 great elements. So once the job is done, it drops. Then Ramakrishna knew that. He had exhausted his karma. Now he had to keep going because he had work to do. So to keep going, he has to create karmas. And what he was creating was karmic, food karma. He was creating because the moment you create a desire, it has to be manifested. What is karma? It's a desire. You create a desire, it has to manifest, you have to experience. When you experience, it is nullified. So he was wantingly, consciously creating the desire for food. Now the desire for food is there, the desire will linger around as karma, it becomes a karma. Now you have to, till that bhog, till that you experience that karma, the body will sustain itself because it has to experience that. And that karma is lingering there. So when he has or fulfill that, he creates another karma. So he keeps on repeating that, creating karmas, creating desires purposely to keep his body going. So these are all the mystics to it. So this explains how even we are working on this. All we are living, all we are unwinding, all the life that we are undergoing is karma. Unwinding itself, exhausting itself in some way. So we can rapidify that karma by doing good deeds, and the most powerful way is sadhana. You burn off those sanchit karmas, which is lying in stock, which is going to come in the future lifetimes. You can burn it all. And I have told this many times. Many people who are walking the path can sense the mightiness of karma, because many people say, I have joined this path, I have joined this community, and I am doing this sadhana, I have taken diksha, I am doing everything, and my problems have increased. I don't see a solution in my problems. Please understand the science of karma. You are doing a certain practice, so that means you have accelerated towards your liberation. Prarabdha is something that is allotted to you in this lifetime. Sanchit is something that is stored, which is going to come to you in another lifetimes. Prarabdha is only that which is allotted to you in this lifetime. Now when you are working on sadhana with the grace of a master or a path, or even in religion, when you are doing different rituals or pujas or different, maybe the intensity is less, but it's progressing. Somewhere you are going and tapping into the sanchit karma, the stock karma, and burning it. Your sadhana burns that. Why it is burning? Because now the motive has become very clear to you. The motive is now to burn the karma so that you get free from the bondage of karma. So when you are doing with that intention, with that sankalpa, maybe of the guru or the shishya, what happens is, all the karmas that are lying pending now, distributed in many other janmas, are going to get pulled towards this janma. If you have determined yourself to complete everything in this lifetime itself, in this janma only I'm going to take, move towards moksha or liberation, then what? The exhausting karma, the karma that is pending has to be exhausted. So the only way is burn it. So as you're burning, everything that you are destined maybe in another 20 lifetimes now gets pulled into one lifetime. So what can you expect? So the seekers who are intensifying their uh, sadhana and all that, will definitely see a lot of such so-called mishaps or problems, so-called problems and challenges and obstacles coming there. This is nothing but your future quota that is rushing towards you. So if you have the state of awareness that whatever is coming is my own doing, so what will happen is you will ease back. You will not react and create more rakta bijas, but you will be very neutral to it. And you will take it as a blessing that everything is coming in to finish as fast as possible. So it can be exhausting, but if you understand this, it will be easier. Sandeep ji, if birth is taken because of karma, then about happening good, bad times will also depend on karmas? Yes, definitely. All our experiences are outcome of that karma only. Whatever good we are facing is obviously from our good seeds of good punyas, and whatever bad we are getting is obviously the seed of our bad karmas. So it is just a unwinding of that particular bija. So understanding that the birth itself is karma. If there is no karma, there is no birth. As simple as that. Some karma may be very subtle karma, which can be even dissolved without the physical body. There are such karmas also, which can be dissolved without the experience of the five senses. Whatever needs the panchendriyas, the five senses, will need a sharira, a body. Whichever karmas don't need the experience of these five senses can be dissolved astrally also. That also happens when the soul leaves. It might decide that there is nothing much left for the physical karma. There is much of astral karma, that is subtle karma. So the soul can actually do a lot of things in the astral realms to clear off that karma. That also is possible. Did I miss anything from the start? I didn't see a couple of messages. Okay, there is nothing much. Anything else that you need to ask? Or we can wind up for today. And my journey continues. So it's never ending, it's going on. So I said this till there is the urge, because my people find it very difficult. What is this guy up to? अभी अभी तो गए थे, मैं फिल्म देखने थोड़ी गया था, पिकनिक के लिए थोड़ी गया था कि अभी जाके आया तो अभी बहुत टाइम बाद और दूसरा पिकनिक होगा. It is serious work, you know. So that depends on even my friends or some people telling, you know, for us it's very difficult to travel so quickly. घर पे क्या बोलेंगे? See, travel means people think it's a fun trip. So you need to take a trip out when you are too fatigued or too much you have worked in life and you need a break now. Then you go for a trip. So with that mentality, if you see, yes, this is too fast. But if you take these travels as a part of your tapas and sadhana, then I call it, you know, more opportunities to do more tapas and more sadhana in the vicinity. At the same time, dissolve karma with so many people that I'm destined or connected with. And at the same time, have the grace of holy places and holy people. That also counts. The blessings and grace of great ones, holy masters, they all count. I remember my master long back saying, never miss an opportunity to gain the grace or blessing of a holy one. Never miss that opportunity. As much as possible, receive the blessings of people and places, and so that helps you in your journey. It helps, and I can see it has diluted my life very. It has made life more easier than. And the other thing is, it's also fun. It's also like you don't have a rigid spiritual thing that you're sitting in one place and doing. No, this is all so much of flexibility, so much of grace, and so much of love, and so much of exploration that's involved, so much of new things to learn, new things to imbibe. And also it makes you aware of what is good for you, what is not good for you. It makes you aware. And all these put together, these are all beautiful experiences which then I can sit and share it with so many others, which can help so many others. So with this, I think we had a good time today. Thank you everybody who joined in this session here. Yeah, I remember that girl also. I don't know if you remember. Once I was in Banaras, and there was a Krishi Shivir there, and Gurudeva told me just go and look into that also. And it was my personal travel also, Banaras. So we had gone on the Ganga Tat and we were looking into those areas, and I was just monitoring those Shivir places, and we had a Rudra Abhishekam also to do that day. And I was sitting there and I saw a lot of crows coming, and I was feeding the crows and I was talking with them, and literally they were like conversing. The crows. Crows are again linked to your Pitrus. Banaras is a nice place again for your Pitrus. So somewhere I had that feeling that these crows are not just crows, and they were literally talking. And there when I was sitting with the crows and feeding the crows, one girl just walked to me, one little girl. She just walked to me and she smiled, and I said, "Oh, how are you? Who are you and from where are you?" She said, "I'm from this place." She said, "आपकी मम्मी का फोटो दिखाइए." I said, "What?" "आपका मम्मी का फोटो दिखाइए, मुझे देखना है." I said, "Of everything, what is up to this girl?" I thought she's joking. I made fun and I said, "Where are you?" And she was saying, "मैं इधर ही रहती हूँ, मैं वहाँ वो दिख रहा ना वहाँ रहती हूँ." How many people? She was not very interested. है आपका मम्मी का फोटो दिखाइए. मम्मी का क्यों? And she was trying. अरे मम्मी का क्यों दिखाऊँ आपको? ऐसे ही मुझे उनको देखना है. I said, "Why? A strange girl is walking to me and saying, I want to see your mother's photo." I ignored it, and again I had a call or something. I ignored. She went. After some time, half an hour, again I saw her. I remembered, oh, this is that same girl. Hello. She came running to me. आपने आपका मम्मी का फोटो नहीं दिखाया. मैं बोला अरे यार. This happened for 2-3 times. Then I said, okay, let me see. I just opened up one of the photograph and I showed, ये देखो. And she looked, she stared at it. She looked at all angles. She looked very closely at it, and she had a smile on her face. And she said, "Okay, tata, bye." She ran away. I don't know what. Never met her again. Children, their karmas are, they have this awareness of who they are. They can see, they can know. Maybe they cannot express, but they have a knowing. I don't know what karma was that. So again, I'm talking about familiarity. How familiar these things are. People we bump into, very mysterious, and nobody can answer it. Nobody can answer it. Nobody can answer it. I have also told this why we were going once to Mailadurai. Not Mailadurai. We were going to a place called Sriviliputtur. We were supposed to climb the great Satyagiri hills, which takes 5 hours to climb. So we had to reach there 5 o'clock early in the morning. So we had halted in Madurai, and we were supposed to take early morning 3:30 bus or 4 o'clock bus to reach there early morning. So we went there, myself, Pratap and Sham, we 3 of us, we were going. We went to Madurai station, and huge station, and everywhere there are buses. There were like 50 buses everywhere and passengers. In Tamil Nadu, whole night there is buses. 2:30, you imagine, 3:30, people full. And we didn't know which bus, where to move, whom to ask. It was an open, big one space. And then I told my friend, okay, let's ask somebody. So we said we'll cross 2 platforms of these buses and go that side, and we can see the empty space, we'll go there. So we had a luggage, we were just running, we were trying to cross because every platform had buses. So we crossed 2, 3, third platform, there was a bus that was reversing back and it was going somewhere, Coimbatore or somewhere. It's a different place. I could see the board. It was reversing and the conductor had got down and he was blowing his whistle and he was showing, and the bus was taking behind, it came and stopped. So I thought, let me go and ask this conductor, where can I get a bus to Srivilliputturu? So I rushed towards him and behind me was just Pratapbhai and Shyambhai. And guess what happened? He just looked at me like this. He said, Srivilliputturu, go there, bus is standing. In Tamil he said, go fast, go fast, go fast. I looked back at Pratap and we all looked at each other. There was no time, we just ran. And then I looked at that conductor. He just said that and he continued, with his passengers. Oh, get in, we are going this place, that place. And he was doing his business. I told Pratap bhai, what was that? He said, ye kya bhai, ye kya hai? We didn't know. We said, let's hurry first. And we moved to that place where he pointed. There was a bus standing there and it was Srivilliputturu. We sat and in a couple of minutes the bus left. We reached in time. Mysterious. We don't know who was that. Who directly, before asking, said, and he was a conductor. I don't say he was but there was something probably that prompted him to say that. Could be. Harish Joshi ji, Bhaiya, I want to apply this blessing of Shiv Yoga in my studies, especially on competitive exams. Can you help? How should I start it? Why do you want to specify on, want to take the blessings of Shiv Yoga only for studies? You are doing a path. Just let that path unfold in your life. It will have abundance, it will have grace on all areas of your life. You don't need to just focus on studies. Then it becomes very conditional. This is what we are told not to go too much into. A conditional sadhana. Why are you doing sadhana? Because I want this. Why are you doing this meditation? Because I want. Why are you doing tapas? Because I want this. Why are you doing so much of tapas? Because I want a siddhi. I want a power. Why are you meditating? Because I want to achieve state of peace of mind. Why are you doing this particular karma or seva? Because I want to get abundance. Conditional. Why are you trying to follow and do the sadhana of this particular path? Because I want to excel in my career. Conditional. Why do you want to make it conditional? Conditional sadhana is a sort of, you can say, selfish. I need something, so I do a sadhana. I need something, so I catch hold of a guru. I need something, so I catch hold of a path. I need something. It's all of a need based. What would that mean? It would mean that suppose you get that. The master had told this long back. I had asked him, Master, there are so many people who come, who go, who don't stay, who are not serious. Sometimes they are very serious, sometimes they are not. So can we do something to, retain them? He said, no. He said, in this path, who comes, whom it is meant for, they will come. And not, it will not. He said, people come here with a lot of expectation. When they come conditionally, they go in that manner. They come with condition. I have a sickness. Oh, I want to do Shiv Yoga, to be healed. What is the condition? That I need healing. Why am I doing Shiv Yoga? Because I need healing. It's very limited. And what happens? The moment the master said, when they get healed, they go away. They get healed, they go. Why? Because the purpose is served. They had come for that. You are not seeing that. And I said, what about the person who don't get healed? There are times when they don't do it properly or something and they don't get healed. They go otherwise. Why? It has not worked for them. Why? The condition was, I need this for my healing. It has not worked, I go. It has worked, my purpose is fulfilled, I go. It's an incomplete journey. So what I would suggest is, when you have taken on a path, when you have taken on the grace of the master, if you want the grace of the master to work on you, see, studies is a small thing that you're asking for. It enlightens your entire path. It enlightens your entire life. It enlightens your blueprint completely. Blueprint means everything. It has got health, wealth, success, career, relationship, abundance. It goes on. All areas of life it is supposed to illuminate. So when you do the path, why not go into that state of abundance and nurturing all areas of life, then focusing it for one particular reason and utilizing it for one particular reason? Why should we go for that? I mean, it's a good take, but then it becomes conditional. And any sadhana that is done conditionally has its effect also conditionally. Man, remember this. Whatever is your intention is what you get. So if our intention is, I want this much, so I should get this, you will get only that much. Whereas you were entitled to get even more. So if you go with a horizon of, I want abundance in all areas of my life, and then I just do it very, very dedicatedly and with sincerity, with full of awareness. This is what I want to say. Add awareness to it. Complete awareness. Be aware of all the practices of the grace of the master, everything. And then when you walk the path, you will see that it affecting and illuminating all areas of your life. And you will be happy. And then there is no conditional, like, give and take, nothing. It's fulfilled you for life. Actually, I am able to apply it in all field of my life and I am enjoying it, but only in my study. How can that be, my dear one? See, when grace flows, it will not flow into all areas of your life and not flow. Yes, maybe there is a karmic blockage. It happens. Sometimes all areas of our life are good, but some area it's not working. Maybe relation it's not working. Or maybe health, a certain area it's not. Or maybe finance, a certain area it's not. Career, a certain area it's not working. But rest it is flooding. So there you need to understand there is a karmic blockage that's not allowing you. So what you need to do is continue the sadhana. Continue with more powerful intention now. That this area also needs to, what I said, there is no blockage, there is redirection. Life will guide you with lot of redirection in the practices that you do only. If you are in that awareness that there is no closure, you will automatically see that something within your sadhana only opens up and it guides you and it leads you to something that leads you to that result. Whereas when people have obstacle in the sadhana or in their path, they say, no, this is not working, and they give it up. No, that is not a closure, that's a redirection. You need to be aware of it. So if you are aware, you will catch many glimpses on what can be done. Okay, if this is a stubborn karma that you have, maybe it will divert you. It will not give you that immediate result. Maybe you will your attention will be diverted to something called seva. Maybe suddenly you will have an interest to do a lot of service to people, to help people. Or maybe you might have an inclination to do a lot of chanting. Something. You can't say that the road is closed now. You are aware the road is closed, but you continue doing what awareness is telling you to do. So if it is guiding you to do some seva, maybe why it is guiding you to do seva? Because to clear that block that you have in that area of life. Are you seeing? That's how mysteriously these things work. So we might not know exactly how it works, and we need not know. We need not put our buddhi into all these things. This should go on surrender. We must put our buddhi only to this extent that we bring up our awareness into all this and allow it to go. So in certain areas, if it is not working, it doesn't mean it's not working at all. You have enough proof to see that it's working on certain. And I'm telling you, sometimes what is not meant for you, it might not happen. I'm not saying your career is not meant for you, but it's very intrinsic. We cannot know the details. Whenever we invoke anything, I always say, whenever you invoke with anything with an intention, any journey, any sadhana, any activity that you do, invoke it always with an intention. Let this happen for my highest good and the highest good of all. And I'm telling you, if it is not meant to happen for your highest good or your highest good of somebody else, it will not happen. It will direct you to something else that is for your highest good and highest good of all. And that something might not be familiar with us. Like sometimes I might ask for one child, I need a child, I need a child. Why am I doing Shiva Yoga? I need child. I need. It doesn't say, it doesn't deny anything. But if you are doing a child, and you're working on a child, let me have a child, let me have a child, and you're not getting a child, and you say, no, everything it has given me abundance, it has given me health, everything, but I'm not getting a child. Who knows, you're not destined to have a child. Maybe having a child might give you a lot of other worries, a lot of other drastic problems which can divert you. Maybe another few janmas it can ludkofy you. What we think as blessing might not necessarily be blessing from divine intervention, because the divine knows what is best for us. So sometimes not having that, maybe I was discussing it with somebody. I met somebody last month. Same thing I was telling. Not having a child might be a blessing, but that time what we feel, no, it is a curse. I don't have a child. मांगा सब कुछ मांगा, इतना ही मांगा मैंने, एक बच्चे को मांगा, नहीं दिया. Who knows? Who knows? I'm telling you, you think very deep and see. Who knows? The child might be a disabled child. They're going to, and the kind of trauma, that kind of problems, the kind of sufferings that somebody might get into it, it has been protected by the grace of the Master and the Mandala. Who knows what is best for you? So we cannot say prayers are not answered there. Sometimes prayers are answered, which looks like it's not answered, but they are answered actually. It might not make sense to us. That is where surrender comes in. That that, okay, I'm not getting this, this is not happening, this is meant to be for my highest good. Let me go with the flow. But let me not lose. It's not like, I don't have a child, the child is not happening, so let me keep my intention on, because I don't know what is the higher intention. Maybe it is a delayed child. Right now, if you are going to have a child, it's not right according to many circumstances. It might land you in trouble. So it's asking you wait for a year or so or whatever. And when the time is right, the child will be given to you. So only thing what has happened is, what you say is not working is going to work, but only it is postponed. At that moment you can't see it. You might say it has not worked. Who knows, it is going to work, because your intention is still there to have a child. But your intention is there, your ichcha is there, your desire is there for that desire, for that wish to be fulfilled, but you are not affected by whether you get it or not very deeply. Are you getting it? You are not connected to the outcome of that. This is what Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. Karm kar, phal ki chinta na kar. This is what he exactly meant. Do your karmas. Live your life, whatever it is. But don't phal ki apeksha mat kar. I have done sadhana, now I need this in returns. Why am I not getting something? You are calculating there. That means you have no trust on that. So it's a very deep thing. So one area of life it is not working. Maybe it's not working for the time being. It might happen later, or sometimes it may not supposed to be. Whatever is for the highest good, just keep chanting this particular thing in awareness, that whatever I be guided through the grace of my Master on this path and sadhana and the grace of Mandala, Guru Mandala, let it be for my highest good and the highest good of all. So when you say this, highest good of mine and highest good of all, it will save you from a lot of troubles. Because when you say, let it be for my highest good, it might be not be for the highest good of somebody. Maybe not the highest good for your wife or your husband or your children or your parents. It might be troublesome for them. It might be good for you. And that might end up in more miseries. So we always end up saying, for my highest good and the highest good of all, let everybody benefit from what I get. It's the purest kind of intention that we can have. So nothing really to worry about on these things. Keep your mind focused on what you want, because that is what the path that you're following teaches. Tum chahte kya? What is it that you want? Keep your mind focused on that. That is how you start manifesting it. It might be delayed, or it might be diverted, or it can have its own way of working. It might not be in that particular mode. It might be something else similar to that. You never know. So all you keep your focus on what you really want and keep doing your practices. However it manifests, Be ready for it. Be waiting for it. You will see in the long run that you will see that, oh, this happened, very good. And I was thinking that time this had to happen, but now I feel good. So many times in our life it has happened. I have seen so many times in my life when I've turned back and look, oh, that time I was sitting and crying and cursing. This was not good for me. Now I see it was a blessing in disguise. Yes, I got your point. So hope you also got my point, what I'm trying to tell you. So it will happen. Never keep any kind of conditional sadhana for anything that you want. Be it unconditional, because Master always used to tell, do sadhana unconditionally. Do it out of that love for that sadhana. Never sit with I'm doing this now, I need something, so I'm doing it. It's very conditional. It's very gross. It's very low kind of a. It's like a transaction that you do with God. I am coming with you. I am sitting with your company because I need this. You give it to me. That's why I'm sitting here. Yeah, I'm happy for you, Harish. Okay, so I think any other questions regarding this particular session? And otherwise, we can pull it out. Last time I had announced that I'm going to Kanjangad, and I put a date. I never do that. Never ever in my life I've done that. I mean, previously I used to do, but not recently at least. I never mentioned it. But that day I was just prompted that so and so date I'm in Kanjangad. Anybody interested, please come. And I booked my tickets on that day. And I was supposed to go from Bangalore to there, to Kanjangad. And after 3 days, I was supposed to board another train from Kanjangad to Belgaum. This is how I had planned and I had booked. I saw that both came in waiting list, huge waiting list. I said, okay, it will get confirmed with time. And by the time I was in my other part of the journey, just 3 days before my travel to Kanjangad, the train from Bangalore to Kanjangad got cancelled. And message came, train is cancelled. I said, train cancelled? Maybe something on that route, some work is going. Okay, I said. Then I'll see some other alternative, I said, bus or some other way to reach Kanjangad. And then I can take my other train which is already booked from Kanjangad to Karnataka. Just 1 day before Kanjangad trip, that train from Kanjangad to my home got cancelled. Another message, this train got cancelled. And I'm like curious now, what is this for? I go and make a depth reading and see other trains, which are going. All the other trains are working actively. Only this particular train from there to there has cancelled, and return train from here to here, another route has been cancelled. Rest all trains are running. I came to know it's not meant to be. I didn't think much about it. I just cancelled the trip. The Divine knows. The mandala knows what they are supposed. So that I cannot say, oh, my trip got cancelled. It is an intervention. It's not a closure. It's a redirection. So from there, I went somewhere else, actually. I was supposed to go there. I ended up somewhere and I had beautiful some other experiences, some new learnings and some new openings in my life, which now I understand why the redirection is. That redirection happens. The same way I had gone once to Ganeshpuri. I wanted to do sadhana there, intense sadhana, many years back. So I saw Swami Vijayananda was going to Ganesh for his visit. Then I said, can I join you? He said, please come. We'll go, we'll have a good time. And you can drop down there and you can do your sadhana. I'm going from there. I'm going towards Mumbra, some other ashram, which he is linked to some other lineage. I'm going there and I have some work, I'll finish and go. When I went to Ganeshpuri, I was there supposed to be for some days, and I saw that there was a big abhang and some programs going on and loudspeakers and whole of Ganeshpuri is full of crowd and noise. And I said, oh my God, yahi time pe ye hona tha. Then I am supposed to do my sadhana here and this is happening. I was very disappointed. I was sitting with my head like this. Now I don't know what to do. Swami said, don't worry. You had come to do sadhana only, no? You can do in that ashram also. It's a very quiet place, quiet ashram. You go and do there. I'll take you there. And I know those people and you can stay, I'll move ahead. You can finish your sadhana whenever you want and come. So I went there. Redirection, or not a closure. I was very disappointed. I said, no, I want to do in Bhagwan Nityananda's place. Now if I go in some other ashram, I won't feel like limitations. So I went there. And when I went there, the moment I entered, I don't want to again name which places because all controversial stuff. The moment I entered, it was the Sri Vidya Sadhana was going inside, mantra was going inside. I said, what is this place? I saw the guru's photo, a different guru. I said, wow. Then I started asking them. By the time Swamiji left, and I asked them about this place, then they said this is linked to so and so lineage and all these things, and you can be here, but the code of conduct is this. We don't allow outside, but because somebody told, we are allowing you. So you can do your sadhana here, but these are the conditions. I said, no problem. Then I asked, what sadhana is he? Then he said, it's all Shaktipat lineage only. But then I said, is he linked anywhere to Sri Vidya? And he said, yes. He was a Sri Vidya master also. But he has not done that openly, but he was a Sri Vidya master. I could understand that mantra of that place, the Jagrit place. From there I got connected to that lineage. From there I ended up in some other place. And from there I travelled the next week. Next week I travelled to Devas. There I had all those mystical experiences and all the beautiful experiences of Mahalaleshwari's book coming into my hand. It all began from there. So I knew it was a redirection. That whole experience I was supposed to go. And when I went to Devas, I explained this. Now since it is on the same topic, let me just finish off that. When I was in Devas, there another saint I met, and I would want to go into details. I don't want to put anybody in trouble there. So this master, a very genuine, compassionate master, I was with him for a few days, and then he took me to certain places in that vast city. He had arranged for something, and we went and dined. We ate food in somebody else's house. Now he planned it in such a way that he sent the cook of that place away, and he said the cook is not coming, and you got to now adjust food somewhere else. Now where shall we go? And he said, we'll go. But later I came to know it was all planned. He had purposely taken us to those places and made us hospitable in those places, and they treated us very well. They made food for us, those devotees, and they treated us with great honor. And Swamiji even asked one of his disciples to serve us there, and I was like, oh, please don't do that. Let us serve you. He said, the other saint said, please keep quiet. And he served us. He did all that, and it was a process that happened. Then we came back, and we couldn't understand what was all this. And later on, as it unfolded, the whole thing unfolded, I came to know that Swamiji had deliberately sent the person who cooks there out and taken us to that place. And then later on, as many months and years passed, I could see a past connection with that place. A past unfolding. I was supposed to eat in that place, in that particular house. There was a pending karma in that place which that saint knew, and he helped unfold that karmic debt by taking us there. No, it's very mysterious. From where I had gone to Ganeshpuri, where what all happened, all the twists and turns in next 2 months, all these things just happened. Just opened up, and all these experiences happened, including me coming in touch with Mahalaleshwari, which I often talk in Shifting into Awareness. She has been a great influence, Ma Lal, in this particular program of mine of Shifting into Awareness that I teach from. So you can see how the mysteriously all these connections are there, how they are all, and where you are supposed to be led, where you are supposed to go, the divine will take you there. It will guide you there without your logic planning, without your intelligence. Your intelligence is not needed there. It's just a state of flow of that surrender that goes with. So I'm glad all these things one by one came into my mind, came into my head right now, which are linked to all this same subject of how we are automatically drawn to those places and people, and how people and places are drawn towards us, which needs our unfoldment. So always remember this. Any people, any person that you are meeting, especially after you have begun your sadhana, after you have begun walking on the path, you got to be more careful and more aware, because now they are to be treated in a very different way. They are all unfolding of your karmas. So all the new people you meet, especially in travels in holy places, be very wary. Be in full awareness and watch it in neutrality, and thank the divine for that blessing, that something is being released, something else is being removed and finished, some chapters are ending in a life. So many times I've seen people who are not careful, they're building up new karmas with new people in these places, because it's very luring. It's very because sometimes when familiarity is there with some old people, some karma is there, you come across and you are compelled to do a certain act. You are compelled. You feel very drawn to do a certain act or say something or do something or get entangled in some way, because it is the effect of your past karma. But if you are in awareness, you will know to be careful, to not get entangled. We are not here to entangle ourselves, but to unwind ourselves. This is what I said also in my previous videos, where I was actually literally tracked by some people, and especially a girl who had so much close attraction, and now I was in full awareness that this is nothing but an unfoldment of the past. In fact, I also made a mention to the person, be very careful what you're thinking. It's not that that strange attraction that you have, and it's not that. It is meant for you to unfold, not to get entangled. So be careful not to get entangled. But unfortunately, from the other side, it didn't happen. It went into a lot of entanglement and a lot of sufferings and misery. Of course, it brought to me also in many ways. But still, because of that detached and neutrality, I was able to come out, the grace. Otherwise, it could have been worse. It can get worse. This is how we draw even people into our lives, which can have different consequences if you are not in awareness. So this session, I hope, has helped you guys to understand this aspect of awareness and treat it into our lives, where you become more aware of your journey and all that happens in your journey. So with this, I think I'll end this session here. It's been a long time, and I can see consistently there are some people consistently stayed here. I didn't see even drop of one person for the past 2 hours. It's exactly the same number. So it's glad maybe it has helped you. So thank you all, and may the divine bless all of us in our journey. Radha. Thanks, Bhaiya. Insights help me evolve so much. Namah Shivaya. I'm glad. Akashji, very glad. So with all beautiful intentions and deep prayers for all our evolution and all our growth on this path, and thanking all mighty powers and divinity for helping us evolve and share and be with each other and to help each other. Gurudeva Sharanam, Guru Mandala Sharanam. May the divine love and light guide us all and help us evolve. Much love to all of you. You don't blink. That's good. That's good. That means if you don't blink, that's a good indication that you have entered into awareness. Because it's my personal experience. If you are in complete awareness, you don't blink. I've seen that. My eyes go like this. Yeah, that's a good indication. Many people ask, how do I know I'm in awareness? See, if you are in awareness, what will happen is your eyes will spread out. And you can see, but you are not reacting to anything, and you don't have a stimulus. So you space out into some other dimension and you are in a state of awareness. That's a good sign that you shared here. Okay, with lots of divine love and light to all of you. Stay blessed. Until next time.